Milwaukee rap song.
There you go.
I've never heard one Milwaukee rap song.
Nor have
Once you
I.
hear this, that'll be the one and only one you'll ever need to hear.
There's rappers in Milwaukee?
I didn't think they were
They'll
very
be rapping
POC
the Kraken
friendly.
afterwards.
I don't know.
After they applauded the pitcher after his,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to fight there.
I don't want to go to Milwaukee.
They're like, you know what, Juan? We got the perfect spot for you.
If I see one tree near the arena,
You're gonna love
I'm
it
out.
because no one can take you.
I see one tree near the arena, I'm running. Dude.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready?
We're ready to go,
Why does the
man.
ref have this white hood in his truck? What
No,
the
no.
hell is this?
I'll take it's like that up there in Milwaukee.
What
right
is
there.
this?
Hey, but you have your winter weather though. I'm sure it's colder up there, way colder right now.
Yeah, so the
Shit,
snow.
by December.
It hides the robes and hoods. That snow.
There's somebody
It's
popping out of
I
this
saw you
snow.
looking at
Camouflage, you know?
all the collections. I saw you looking the other day at all the collections.
Oh
I was wondering
yeah,
if you already
yeah.
had your
I
outfits
posted
picked
that,
up.
hoping my chick would buy something for me. Little did I know that's a one-way street. You know?
Yeah, make sure.
Are we
go
going?
get
Are we
that.
live?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
live.
Okay. I never asked. Can we curse
All
on
right,
this
this
thing?
is the Dynasty
Yeah.
Wise
Okay.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm not like gonna outwardly do it.
Yeah.
I'm liable to do it.
No, that's cool.
so,
Yeah. We just
not
don't.
safe
Yeah.
for work.
Cool.
Make sure to
It's
label
not
that
quite.
real
It's
quick.
not quite Tourette's, but it's
Then I guess we're all in the
No.
same boat.
All right. Well, better hide your kids for this one.
No. Kraken loves the kids.
yeah. Kraken does care. You know?
Oh, are you nicknamed the Kraken too?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot. Y'all
Oh,
are gonna
that's
fight
weird.
it out
Yeah.
after the show to
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
out
yeah.
dominance for that nickname.
I think I can take them.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're in separate career fields, so it's all good. You know?
He knows.
Different disciplines.
He
You're
knows
right.
some
You're right.
secrets.
Yeah, we can both coexist.
You might try to stick to the rules, and he'll pull a move. Eye
You
gouge and
never
fish hook you.
Mayweather and McGregor crossed over, so you know.
never
Is
know.
this the next super fight right here?
Right here, Kraken
we
beat
got here
Kraken.
first. Dynasty Wise Guys presents All the Smoke. We're here at Twisted Acre Brewery. You can find us. They got some amazing beer. I got the
It is really good
Mexican lager right now. Ironically, I think it's titled the Green Card. So it's really good, though. You got to check it out.
I can also attest to that. It was pretty good.
So that's two people that say it's okay. We're okay.
Yes.
Camera.
Yeah, camera.
But you better check us out at Houston Preeminence.
You
We're gonna
better.
Yeah, you
Damn.
better. If you're tuning in, you better. We got the Kraken here. You're going to follow through.
There we go.
Right.
But we're going to be talking about a few things in the combative sports field, and then we're going to be talking about the Kraken's whole fight coming up. So make sure to stay tuned.
There we
First,
go.
though, we got to talk about what's probably all over the internet right now. It's the whole big first trade in mixed
Right.
martial arts.
I
the
dig it.
trade.
I dig it.
Yeah. Who was it? Mighty Mouse.
Mighty
was
Mouse,
dropped, so
yeah.
that way one could pick him up, and one dropped Ben Askren, so he could finally go to the UFC. Finally, he's been trying to for years and years and years. Well, to get into that, Askren has been very busy on the Twitter right now. He called out the
Yeah.
whole division, and at first it was a little quiet. Only George Masvidal stepped in.
Yeah.
Dylan Dana said he's Ben Askren.
Right.
He said he doesn't want that in Bellator, but he already went to the UFC. So
Right.
You're another matter.
You're out of there. Yeah. Not happening.
Oh wait, but trades though, that's going to change the whole thing.
Trade, yeah, for sure, man.
Especially with Bellator. There's talks that UFC might be talking with DAZN or DAZN.
DAZN.
Is that what it's called? I
DAZN.
never once like.
I'm gonna say
I don't
both,
like
just
it.
in case.
I do not like it.
say
I don't
both,
like the
just in
whole
case.
name thing they went with there.
It's too confusing, so
Yeah.
they lost fans already off the bat.
Like phonetically, it looks ugly, and then no one knows how to say it. But they
But
paid Canelo, so
Idealistically,
more
though,
power to them.
free stream or a lot more fights that you're gonna be seeing
Right.
all throughout the whole world.
Right.
For I think it's like $10 a month
Mhm.
that you're gonna be seeing, but you're gonna be seeing like 80 fights a month, all
Right.
over different aspects of all kinds of different sports. So
Right.
check it out. They're actually starting to pay their fighters too a little bit. If you didn't see the Canelo deal, $365 million. Even though it's Floyd
Not
tuning
bad.
in about that.
We better
Not
keep our
bad.
eyes on Juan over here. He's hearing them dollar signs. He's trying to make the move. I'm just kidding.
Hey, DAZN, you better throw that money over.
There we go.
UFC trades are in.
Well, I think I read something that like internationally, like they kind of try to cut ties with them or something like that. I don't really remember. I remember reading that the UFC and DAZN or DAZN or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
you know, they're having issues.
Oh, probably because they're working with Bellator and
Yeah.
everything. But the big thing let's get back to the Askren.
The trade, yeah.
The big thing with Ben talking all that mess on Twitter was at first only Masvidal, and he tried to push real hard for the Darren Till fight.
Right.
Real hard. Darren said he didn't know who he was. And I'm going to tell you right now, Masvidal killed him.
Okay.
Killed him early
What did he
on.
say? I don't remember what he said.
I'm going to have to
Oh, no, you're
pull it up.
Yeah.
Pull it up. Actually, our producer going to get back to you on that one. But
There we go.
He killed him, and he moved on to Darren Till.
Right.
And
Well,
the
hell,
latest one I saw, I think today,
Nick
he
Diaz.
called out Nick Diaz
Nate
and Nate
Diaz.
Diaz. Said he would do a super fight, and he would let them alternate every round, and he said he would not lose a round.
He when he called out Nick, he said, "I know you haven't won a fight since 2011, but people think you're still good, so you know, let's fight."
He said, "Yeah, your Mick Daddy over there.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
gonna give
yeah.
you another fight for money."
Yeah.
But you know, I think that it works well for both companies. You know, DJ being a smaller guy, those guys are more respected over there.
Right.
You know.
There's actually a rumor going around the rumor mill about them cutting ties with the 125 the way they did
I figured
the
as much,
lightweight
yeah.
back in the day,
Yeah.
and creating a catchweight 165. I
Right.
don't know too much details about
Right.
it, but that's just the rumor circulating right around.
Yeah, I could believe it. You know, they've already threatened to cut the division before, and you know,
And
DJ was
the
like, "Do
D
it,
straw.
do it."
I mean, he was
Yeah.
the draw of the whole division.
So I definitely believe that Cejudo's going to fight TJ and then just abandon the
doubt.
division.
No doubt.
And then the UFC will.
But the biggest thing is they're saying that those aren't the draws and stuff. But honestly, the little guys
Right.
are the guys that I'm really, besides the heavyweights, like the Kraken Adams, just in case y'all haven't seen him, he doesn't have much fight time because he finishes his opponents pretty quick. They don't really last long.
What's your overall fight time? Do you know?
Going into that fight, amateur and pro included, it was about 18 minutes. So
Okay.
now I think it's about 22 something.
Your basic
Come
sitcom
on.
length. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, 8 total fights, 22 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
We're going to try and keep it under 30 minutes going in December 15th against your next opponent.
oh yeah, that one.
There
That
we
one
go.
won't last long.
But shit, Juan is on it, man. With getting DJ, with getting Eddie Alvarez as well.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
on it, man.
Big time. And that also opens up, we were talking about Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz. That opens up a trade where you could trade away Nick because
Right.
I'm sure Dana hasn't really been liking him too
Right.
much. And he's a big draw. He, believe it or not,
But
people
who
want to see him
who
fight.
does Bellator trade for either Diaz brother? Because they both have a great relationship with Scott Croker.
Apparently,
Coker.
the big thing is there's a woman, I'm going to have to get her name. She's got the skill set and the size to maybe match up with Cyborg. The only
Right.
thing is she doesn't have MMA experience. I think she's a K1 or something, but
Okay.
she's got the skill set. It's just she needs experience to be able to get to that because
Right.
right off the bat, Cyborg's going to murder anybody.
But still, even then, I feel like in order for Bellator to make that trade to get either of the Diaz brothers, it can't be one fighter.
Oh, no, big time.
Especially because like the UFC, they're invested in women's fighting, but they're not like not
Right.
like back when Ronda was fighting. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Another thing with these trades is the whole Conor and Habib
Right.
feud or whatever. Dylan Danis is currently with
Right.
Bellator, and the PFL owns Habib's brother.
Right.
So with all this trading opening up, who knows what's going to happen? Because honestly, that whole feud, that's a big money maker.
I like it. I like the feud. I like all this trading. I think Bellator's biggest chip is Fedor.
Oh,
The UFC has tried so hard to
think-
get Fedor and Brock in the same ring.
I think the steroids has been the only thing. But the big thing, we had Brock Lesnar. So let him fight. He'll test positive. Oh, well.
Yeah. I can dig it.
I'm sure
I-
Mark Hunt wouldn't be too happy.
Uh-oh.
I just don't think the trades are gonna be. I don't think this is setting a precedent. I think it's a one-time thing that, you know, the opportunity was just right.
Right.
Demetrius Johnson's coming off of a loss.
Allegedly.
They're not giving him.
I don't like that decision.
They're not going to give him an immediate rematch.
Right.
So he's already cleaned out that entire division.
Right.
Same thing with Askren. There's no one left in the world for him to fight, and he's already said that he's only doing it for if the money's right.
Right.
So it was just a very opportune time for both companies. The way it's set up now, the guys that went over to Bellator aren't, you know, they're getting a lot of ex-UFC guys because of the Reebok sponsorship deal. So
Right.
it's hard for these guys to, you know, sponsors are how we make money. You're realistically, a guy fights maybe if he's lucky 4 times a year, your average fighter is considered active if we fight 3 times a year.
Okay.
Right? If you're not in the UFC or making a minimum of, 10K per fight,
Right.
it's really hard to make a living off of 3 fights a year. Your sponsors are where it's at. So, and, it's very hard for guys in the UFC to, if they're not getting that 3 fights a year, to make a living, because a lot of sponsors, they want the exposure.
Right.
That's the trade-off. They're
Right.
giving you money in exchange. You give them exposure. You bring them business. So it's hard, because during fight week and all that, we can only wear, UFC approved stuff. So
Right.
that's where the draw is for a lot of these other guys. So the guys
Or they'll
over
send you home. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
Well,
Come
the
back with
guys-
some Reebok.
like, you look at the guys that Bellator has gotten from the UFC recently. The 2 biggest ones that come to mind
Rory.
are Rory McDonald and Gegard Mousasi.
Yeah.
Right?
Big time. And
Both of those
I
guys
want him
were-
to fight Bader, or Bader lose and then lose the lightweight to Mousasi. Just saying.
So
That's what I
Musasi
want.
doesn't have to fight Machida now? He doesn't have to run that rematch?
Honestly, I think Machida passed his prime. when he
Yeah.
passed his prime.
Oh, man. But I feel like if you're Musasi, you want that rematch.
I don't know. I don't think he really wants to fight too much anymore. I think he wants to chase that history, get the 2 belts,
Yeah.
and then call it quits.
Oh, I can
Maybe
feel
Mousasi,
defend
he's
one-
already said he doesn't want to fight a lot anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He see you some
that scare of
words.
his eye that one time.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
used
I read that.
some
Watch
words I
Machida.
can't
Watch
use.
Machida do some. Use them.
But
Watch
you-
Machida. But
you
watch
actually
Machida win in
reminded me-
Hawaii.
you
Watch
actually
Machida win
reminded
in
me of
Hawaii.
Someone that would be a prime example of potential trade bait, per se, in this fantasy football. If you Dynasty wise, just saying trade bait.
Yeah.
Would be Donald Cerrone. He loves to fight like 12 times a year.
Right.
PFL's a season thing. That's the prime
Right.
example. I have to look into their depth, see who they have, but that could be a potential trade right there.
Right.
But the way it would work out is it wouldn't even necessarily have to be a trade. When you get to that high of a profile, the only reason it worked for,
DJ and
Askren is because they were on multi-fight contracts. If you get a guy that's near the end of his contract, he can just keep refusing terms of a contract
Right.
until they eventually cut him anyway, and then he can go that way. So they wouldn't announce him as a trade. This even realistically isn't necessarily a trade. It's two contracts being terminated with
Right.
a lot of contingencies.
Yeah.
Right.
So they call it a trade for, all right, the
Historic
average
standpoint.
The average IQ in America is not in the triple digits. So they call it a trade to
It was an
simplify
agreement.
it for other
Right.
people. But
It's an
To
agreement.
break
Yeah.
contract, and so the other could sign.
yeah.
Right.
But it's the trade.
Yeah.
The first
No, yeah.
time
So
ever.
Cerrone, he's like a wild card. He can go anywhere. Like, he would be perfect for a trade anywhere. Honestly.
Yeah.
Cerrone loves to fight, but that's why I also don't see UFC just giving him up.
Oh yeah, big time. That's
Yeah.
why it would have to be something worth it.
Right. Exactly.
But finishing up with Askren or whatever, who do you actually see maybe his first fight in the welterweight division? I haven't seen Robbie Lawler in a long time. Damian Maia, Masvidal's been calling him out.
You
Who do
know,
you see? Till's too high up in the totem pole, I believe, for him.
They're
He's
gonna
in a
give
new
him-
division now,
They're
isn't he?
gonna give him a
Oh, yeah, he just
more
went out.
likely than not. It's not gonna be like a well-rounded guy. It's gonna be someone that's a specialist in either grappling or striking. So I see it. Damian Maia would be a great one. He's coming off a lot.
Right.
And Usman would be
Oh,
great.
yes.
That's
That
the
would
big
be
one that's going
exciting.
around.
That would be a good
exciting.
fight to make, but I
There-
don't make the matches.
There's
so.
also
If you're
GSP, man. GSP has been wanting this fight. 2 wrestlers, obviously different styles, but
Right.
The perfect breaking open to who gets Habib.
right.
Although, honestly, Ferguson has earned
Yeah,
it
of course.
multiple times over.
Yeah.
He's earned that title shot.
Of
and
course.
They've held him over and over again.
Agreed.
But let's go ahead and talk about something real quick in the boxing world. Something huge. H-Town wise, it's big.
That's right.
It's going to be a whole new definition of twinning. We're going to be talking about the Charlo twins. It's Lions only, folks.
That's right.
Lions only. We're going to be talking about how their fight coming up, they're going to both be headlining. They actually did what was it?
A coin toss.
Coin toss. I called Jamal by tails. He won by heads, but that's neither here or there. But the Jamal versus Jermel, that went down at the the Barclay Center? Yeah,
Yes.
home of Brooklyn Boxing. Says They also gave fans over there an opportunity to win tickets to the fight, which I thought was amazing.
That is pretty cool.
The only problem I have with it is it should have been in H-Town, just to solidify it.
I can see, yeah. That's a hard one. Like I said, I don't really know what goes into it, because they're probably, fighting at Barclays, huh?
Yeah.
They're both going to be, since Jamal won, he's going to be headlining against...
but they're fighting at Barclays is what I'm saying, right?
Yes,
So, I would
both
probably,
of them.
Yeah, that makes sense to do it over there, I guess. But, I would love to see it in Houston. But then you got to fly those other two guys down here for a coin toss.
Honestly, I'd rather the next fight in Houston because after this, it should solidify, especially with Jamal.
Right.
Canelo taking his voluntary defense with somebody else. I mean, he's the interim champ. It's time. It's time. Triple G dodged him. I'd hate to say it.
No, you don't have to hate to say it.
My boy.
That's what happened.
I love Triple G, but
he dodged him.
He's dodging Jamal. So what they did was they hooked him up. Oh, first off, Jamal Charlo, Houston. He's 27-0 with 21 knockouts. I'm gonna tell you right now, he is probably the best in the division of opening up that sleeper with that jab. He works that jab so beautifully.
Juan, you a big fan of the Charlo twins?
Yeah, I really don't watch a whole lot of boxing. I'm a fan of those two guys because they're from Houston, and I don't watch them enough to critique either of their games.
Yeah, the Krakens don't really hang out with lions.
Me or him?
Both.
Both.
No, they're definitely talented, and they both have clearly from their records a lot of knockout power. So I think it's great for boxing in general because it kind of fell out of the mainstream.
It's dying, in my opinion.
For those two to come back and really bring the violence back to the sport, that's what people pay to see.
And I'm sure DAZN or DAZN, we're going to say both because we never know.
There we go.
I'm pretty sure they're going to be getting into boxing with HBO leaving after 45 years in the sport.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going to be happening on that front.
But Jamal Charlo, he's an unbeaten interim. I got to say interim because he deserves that title shot. But he's the WBC middleweight champion, and he'll be headlining because he won that coin toss against his brother. He'll be headlining against middleweight contender Willie Monroe Jr. He's 23-3. He's got 6 knockouts. A lot of people on the internet, they're really pissed about this. There's other contenders that they think deserves it over him. They feel like it's going to be a quick and easy match.
Right. I mean, that's kind of how boxing happens every now and again, though. Like, sometimes you're just not going to get the matchup right away that you really want. And then, the guy that we thought was going to win wins. And then he's going to beat the next guy until we get that match. The match we want.
The super fight.
Right.
And who's to say that it doesn't... I mean, his fights, Jamal Charlo's fights don't really go too far because that knockout power.
Right.
But his brother is going to be co-maining on the event who's the actual champion. No interim to it.
Super welterweight.
He's the super welterweight. But Jermell Charlo is 31-0 with 15 knockouts. He'll be taking on at the co-main event against super welterweight contender Tony Harrison, who's 27-2 with 21 knockouts. So I think it's going to be a slobber knocker?
There we go. Good old JR.
Which I was expecting with Jamal and Triple G, but I mean, Triple G scared and running.
There we go again.
Allegedly, right?
We're going to make him come out and fight him.
There come out and fight you.
It's going to have to happen eventually. For sure.
Right.
How do you feel about that, though? First time in history? Is it the first time in history with twins? It has to be.
I would have to imagine so. Yeah. I'm not a statistician or anything.
Statistically speaking,
we gotta compare our belts. My twin brother, if you're out there, we got to compare our belts. To make
there
sure.
we go.
But,
I
might be
wish I
the
had a
first
twin.
time in history.
Yeah, I would believe it. You could have just told me it was. I would be like, yeah.
Yeah. So no stat checking.
There we go.
But we're going to break into our sponsors real quick.
Yes,
and then we're going to go and do a big H-Town spotlight of the Juan, because we've got another guy who's labeled the Kraken that, I don't know, that he might be the Kraken.
Yeah, might be.
But we're going to break into that after our sponsors. First, I'd like to thank Dynasty Wise for bringing this, Combative Sports Pod.
You're welcome.
You got to check us out. We're going to be on live radio. Our baby right now is fantasy football. We're going to be doing that a lot during the week. So you better tune in for your lineups. That's the only way you're going to win that championship.
And where will you be doing live radio at?
It's actually going to be at Houston Preeminence.
Ah.
KTXF. KTXF.
Yeah, so you can find us on the TuneIn app. It's gonna be
8
Monday
to
Friday,
10 p.m.
24/7. You can find us at 8, 10 every day. But on the weekends, we're going to be on early. So make sure in the morning when you're on that throne, getting that championship ready, hit us up.
That's where Juan takes all of his Snapchats and videos from the throne.
On the throne right there. He's
Yeah,
rocking the Dynasty
I had to
wise.
stop that on my Instagram.
You know his fantasy team's getting it.
But it was relatable on your Instagram.
Yes.
Because
I
I was
think it
watching
was
at the same
ironic.
time
I
I
think
was
it was
sitting on
My
the
ironic.
whole
toilet.
thing was like,
That's the only time I tuned in.
That's when you gotta be your most. That's when people relate to you the best. When
We were all
I'm
synced.
connecting to people at my most
Being-
vulnerable
I was
moments.
just about to say, yeah, it's very vulnerable of you.
And as I'm sitting upon a porcelain throne, delivering the Browns to the much coveted Super Bowl, you gotta.
Which, by the way, earlier in the season, I did predict them to get
A
the
man
wild
of the
card.
people.
I predicted
You projected what?
the Browns to get that squeeze in with the wild card.
Or,
No.
Yeah.
or squeezed
No,
out by
man.
the
That was
Kraken.
way
Not
early.
this year, man.
That was way early. That defense, I expected
Off
to
the
come
back of
through.
Tyrod
And
Taylor or off the
no,
back of Baker Mayfield?
I thought
Okay.
Baker would get it about week 6, and he got it way earlier.
Yeah,
than I
he
expected.
definitely got it way earlier than anyone expected. Your other sponsors, though, sorry.
Yes, the last one, Kraken, what is it, Rhino Liner just got you?
Yes. So my sponsors are Rhino Pro truck bed liners, built Rhino tough. Welcome to Team Kraken, and I'm happy to be joining with them. Also, I got to plug Jet Hot as well as Kinetic out in League City. Best chiropractors and corrective movement guys in the game. And my personal trainer, thecheatmeal.com. So,
Cheatmeal.com. Look it up.
and
Cheat
of course,
Meal.
my boy Mashed Potatoes over
Oh,
there.
honestly, I'm glad we had to get this event because the studio, I felt it would have been too small for the built-up animosity y'all two have when y'all just walk into a room. I don't know what it is, y'all super heavyweights.
Just seething with hate.
Killer recognizing killer. I don't know what it is.
There can only be one. And
That's why we're going to determine the Kraken name. December 15th, you might be able to check it out. Maybe not. He might have to change his name. But we're going to go and get into our week's.
Twisted Acre mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. We're here. I've got the Mexican lager. Ironically, again, I got to say, it's the green card. And it's delicious. It's smooth. Tastes amazing. They have a lot of funny names for a bunch of them. Eventually, when they get the seasonal, you're going to have to come and ask for the butt cream.
There you go.
Butt cream. Yeah.
Good one up there.
I had the pleasure of trying them all out just before I
Ooh.
got up on here, and they're all pretty goddamn good.
Yes.
Yeah. The Bumbletree was surprisingly good. It didn't even really taste like honey, but I thought it was
Yeah,
really
that's the one. That's a killer right
Yeah.
there, man. That's like I think what they said that was clocking in at about like 9 or 8.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
and
might
it
have
does
to
not
go
taste
back for
like it.
another one, though.
Yeah,
It does
I
not
know
taste
that.
like it.
delicious.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
There we go.
But that's over here at Twisted Acre Brewery. Go ahead and catch them. We're going to go ahead and jump into our H-Town Spotlight, though. Every week we like to bring a Houston martial artist or somebody in a different combative field. And this week we're going to be doing, or last week we did, what was it, Cameron Graves?
Cameron Graves.
Unfortunately, he had to pull out because his opponent didn't make weight. But this week, it's the Kraken Adams.
Oh, him. Okay, this is your
Oh, yeah, my bad. The Kraken, let me do that. Rewind. Delete that and rewind. The Kraken Diaz.
There we go.
At Southside Collection. You can find him. And then we also have one who likes to copy his name, the Kraken
Yeah.
Adams, who's going to be fighting at the UFC card. What was it? The free one on Fox. Is it 31?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
against Chris De La Roche.
Rocha.
Rocha. He's 5-2. Honestly, I've been looking at a little bit of his videos here in the past week or two. His stand-up's a little iffy. He likes the control on the ground, where unfortunately his opponent, who doesn't have much time in the whole cage, likes to do that too, and he'll punish you big time.
So what's the game plan there?
Oh, let's not give out the secret.
Yeah, there's no.
Let's give out fake game plan. You're gonna sweep the leg, maybe.
Kumatai.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Jean-Claude Van Damme, split kick.
crane
in there.
kick.
Oh, shit.
Come in
Here
with
we
the
go.
crane kick.
So we're going to see a spinning heel kick.
Oh,
Sweet.
yeah, dude.
You got to show
all
your
of it.
agility.
Yeah.
Bigger than Derek Lewis's huge
shit.
kick. Oh man, I was. Whew.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, hell, you were looking for this like a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? So
yes.
we're,
They've been
like,
holding you for a few months now.
Couple months
Yeah.
now, yeah, and I've been lobbying for a fight for a while.
How'd you actually get into the UFC? How'd you win that contract?
It was at on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series is where I won my contract. 4-minute, 17-second KO. So
It was nice.
that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
That'll get
I
you a
enjoyed it.
contract for sure.
Yeah, and
They had to get you a contract before you had to get set up with somebody that we're not going to mention because they haven't earned the contract.
Yeah. So we were, but no, I'm really looking forward to it. I've been asking for a fight for a while.
Where's that actually at?
It's gonna be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know, it's probably the one card I didn't want to be on, but I'm happy to have a fight.
They're trying to take you out of your element.
Yeah, and you know the card is free. I'll probably be on the preliminaries on Fight Pass. So
Bullshit.
yeah, you know it's $10 for a 1-month subscription. So
Or you can get that free trial.
yeah, or you can get a free trial. You get a 1-week free trial. So
And that'd be the time to do it.
yeah, get a new email address. Go on there.
Get your burner account on.
This isn't coming from him.
So there's that. But you know the guy's 5-2. I never lost, even going back to my amateur career. So
Which we were lucky enough to catch that and your first professional because a buddy of ours was fighting on the card.
yep. So and, you know I look for it'll be a lot of the same for my end. I'm realistically going to end this fight in the first round,
Right.
more likely than night.
Especially if he decides to exchange.
Yeah. So, you know, my opponent's not particularly good at anything. He's okay at a lot of stuff, but you know, I'm better than him everywhere, and
I believe that.
It is what it is.
I'm going to tell you right now, the footage against Adam Milstead, he got mollywopped standing up. He was lucky that refs stepped in when he did, otherwise it would have been a highlight reel. Knockout.
I watched this fight whenever it came on against Rashad Coulter from
yes,
Dallas.
yes.
Yeah. And that one, I mean,
He got lucky in the
Did
exchange.
you say
And then
it
what,
was
the
just
second round?
a slobber knocker. Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, he didn't.
He actually
he didn't
controlled
look
the fight on the
proficient.
ground once he
standing
got
up.
there.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's your element.
Yeah.
I doubt he's going to have.
That fool.
Yeah, he won't be able to take me down for sure. So, I'm not super
the Kraken,
worried.
he's extra slippery.
No,
Hasn't been tested.
No.
Very true. Very true.
Lee Pipe actually made.
So you'll be surprised if it gets to the second round.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if it goes to the second round, but if it does, that's better for me than it is for him.
And you've got the cardio to go there,
yeah,
right?
he's not in good shape at all.
Yeah.
So,
You could actually break the 30-minute mark in the cage.
There we go.
yeah, maybe.
I mean, hell, I remember when you fought on Tuesday Night Contender Series, that was like everyone's thing was like, man, this guy has a tank.
Yeah.
He just threw for 3 straight minutes, and then he went to the ground.
Yeah, it's funny because we were looking at the fight stats online, and it was 57 significant strikes landed in 4 minutes, 17 seconds. So they did my significant strikes per minute is like in 13 point something, and you look at every other fighter, it's like they might be in the 5 or 6 range. So it was intense, but
That's great.
That's good. Headshots only, right?
mostly, yeah.
There to take the head off for sure. That's what we want to see. As a fan, that's what I want to see.
I mean, if the body's there, I go for it, but it's just
Yeah.
Wear him down.
Liver,
man.
liver shots have been the move here lately.
Yeah,
They've
but
been
I
finishing
mean-
everybody.
If the,
Boss
hand,
rooting
if the
somewhere.
hands are down, I'm gonna hit you. You know? So-
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna fold. But everyone cuts weight differently. They have the different strategies or whatever. You say what? You usually walk around 295. You say.
Yeah,
If
so
y'all didn't know, he has to cut down to 265.
yeah, so right now I'm about
And this was Carlos Diaz.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Juan.
so I'm about 290 right now. I like to get down to 282 2 weeks out, and from there we do all water manipulation and sodium manipulation. So we'll start carb cycling in a couple weeks or so, but we're actually lighter at this point than I've been. Normally at this point I'm about 10 to 15 pounds heavier, and my trainer is having like a mini heart attack
One
at this
word.
point. So
Progression.
this time he's like not stressed at all, so it's great.
All right.
You know, and he's not stressed. My workouts are a lot less painful. So
So you
No.
feel like you're in pretty good shape. Sorry, I didn't mean.
Oh no,
yeah,
you're good. It's your
feel
show.
great.
All right.
No, I love when Juan is cutting weight because that's the real Juan right there. You see him on Instagram, and you see him everywhere
Oh,
else.
yeah.
Just man, let me tell you how my day's going.
Honestly, that's what I was about to get at. Weight cuts can be mentally and physically draining, per se. Where would you say you are right now, and how far out do you usually start cutting?
Oof. I usually don't. I mean, we're monitoring my diet right now. So usually at about 8 weeks out, 10 weeks out, we cut out liquor. Like so about so about
Just liquor.
about 12 weeks.
Liquor, I hardly know
about
her.
12 weeks out, like anywhere from the 12 when we start thinking you might get a fight soon. Like, hey, you got to cut the drinking down. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Juan with his Cosmo.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And then I'm down to I can only drink once a night, once a week. And then at about 10 weeks out, there's no liquor altogether. Or if my weight gets over 300, that I don't get to drink anymore. So that's why I work out as much as I do, because I really like my liquor.
And we're the dicks that always invite you to a brewery, right?
It's unfortunate.
So,
this time.
so you're
then-
the anti-Derek then. You're in the gym for more than an hour.
Yeah, always. And then they,
How's your cardio going?
ridiculously
Oh,
well.
okay.
So-
Yeah. That's what I want to hear.
We,
the way Derek said it.
And then we also cut out a lot of the sweets, a lot of the excess complex carbohydrates. My calorie intake right now is probably right at 3,600 a day.
All right, then I gotta take you into the dark place. What do you miss the most right now?
Those Little Debbie snacks or something, right?
It's
The
a
fourth
combo,
meal?
man.
Is it the fourth meal?
I
know
do.
that's your-
Oh man, yeah, Taco Bell. Honestly, it's a toss up between the
Sick
liquor.
Taco Bell wreck.
Oh, and then 2 a.m. stop at
Yeah.
the fourth meal. I see.
The fourth
I see.
meal.
They
So
go
it's
hand in hand.
a toss up between liquor and the fourth meal. That's it's a tough one.
And I want everyone to know that this is not an act. I once went and me and Juan watched a fight together, and I got there and the bartender or the waitress was already bringing his Cosmo. I was like, okay, so he really drinks these Cosmos.
Yeah, if you didn't know, he loves fruity drinks, which there's nothing wrong with that. But
I'm not going
liquor
to say anything
content-
about it.
No, say something now.
Say it.
That's not what you said earlier before the
Yeah.
show. Right before we started, actually.
Yeah, right before you got here, he was
So-
talking a lot of shit.
A lot. I'll wait for you to leave, and I'll continue my conversation.
But moving on from food. Well, actually, what's number one drink that you miss? Cosmo? Is that what it was?
The apple teeny.
That's a tough one because like the Cosmo you can get
Buttery
pretty
nipple?
much anywhere.
You don't look like a buttery nipple guy.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
didn't
fan
think
of
so. I didn't
buttery
think so.
nipple.
Okay.
Juan
Maybe
loves
a-
Cosmos.
Maybe a star
It
fucker.
really is,
You look
though.
like a star fucker type.
I do like the shots. I do like.
Hey, you don't have to be a star. He'll fuck anybody. It's all good.
Allegedly.
Which
Allegedly.
actually,
I got a
I heard-
girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
now
Juan-
you have a girlfriend. Luckily, because it has been exposed that your number one weakness, and if your opponents were smart, they would play matchmaker, and they would get at your number one weakness, which was the ladies.
Was. Now y'all are
Like-
screwed.
Yeah, I'm focused now.
More ways than one too.
I don't
because
think-
I think that's progression, that you're lower weight than normal. As your game develops, as you get
Grow
more
up.
and more used to UFC, yeah, you're going to be on a steadier pace. And
Right.
who's to say? As you're moving up the ranks, you said what you wanted to clear the division, correct?
Yeah. I want everyone, man. I want all the smoke. So.
Oh, there.
You've come to the right place.
Yeah, all the smoke.
All
I thought there was going to be
Speak it.
alarms or something when
We
people
bring
say it. When people say it, I thought there was
Right.
like alarm. Yeah, there we go.
We need that. Y'all didn't see it, but Josh Reddick just ran through. in
It
a
was crazy.
Speedo,
Yeah.
Champagne flu.
So when's the romper coming back? Because I mean, I know there's some fans out there.
Oh
Mashed
man.
potatoes.
I don't know if the girlfriend
Walkout
approves.
Romper.
I might be rocking the romper at my official club,
Is it gonna have her
club
picture
appearance
on it?
after the fight.
Okay.
The romper is going to be approved when it has her photo on it.
Wait,
Nah, man, I only wear bright purple and pink rompers.
You're going to a-
Like royal
blue in
fur? Like crown?
It was like that.
there. Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's
my
called
color. That's my
Galactic
color.
Tribe.
You're,
is the romper.
you're going to a club in Milwaukee.
They don't have clubs. in Milwaukee. It's a bar.
It's a little town outside of
It's a
Milwaukee.
bar. And for the record, I'm getting paid to be there. all right? So we're going, making an appearance out there. Should be fun.
Juan's gonna get that fight bonus and just Cosmos on me.
Oh yeah, I'll be rocking the romper at that. Romper in a trench coat because it's gonna be cold.
Please
up
don't wear the
there.
trench coat.
It's gonna be cold up there.
You don't know what's under
look,
that trench coat.
I don't want to go up there in the romper and have my man parts all shriveled up.
Yeah.
The whole point of the romper is for the print to be shown. Okay?
I feel
my print
There
needs
we
to be
go.
out.
I'm
in
afraid
force.
for the people for the after party.
Shit.
Because I think
He wore a romper to our
the
last
liquor will be
interview,
involved.
and I was afraid the zipper
Oh,
was gonna.
no.
I was sitting right across from him. I was like, I'm waiting for it.
It's a button up, sir. It's a button up.
Next time you have to flex a little bit so he can get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just aim it just right and pop the chest out for him.
What's funny though,
Kraken.
just got the contract with the UFC, went through the Dana White Contender Series. You've actually had a relatively little amount in the cage, but not only in the cage, but as a whole career. What you were at, your first amateur was what in 2016, and then
Yeah.
your first pro fight was July 2017 or something.
Yeah, so my first amateur fight was September 10th of 2016, and my pro debut was June 24th of 2017, and then I had this one July 31st of 2018. That's when I got into the UFC. So right at 13 months of being a pro, I'm in the UFC. 4 fights. That's the fewest fights of any male competitor in the UFC. So
Stamp
and,
it.
and that's why it says generational athlete on his UFC page.
He
Yeah.
wants all the smoke.
All this.
Yeah, he's gonna run the division. When do you think on that pace? When do you think you're gonna be ranked?
I'll probably be ranked by
2 months.
After
No, no,
fight
no.
after De La Rocha.
After
De La Rocha.
I want to fight next.
Probably
Derek
by
Lewis
my-
had 3 weeks. I want another.
No, probably by my my 5th fight in the UFC is probably when I'll crack the top 10, and then I'll probably be in the title picture by the end of 2021. That's the
Stamp
goal.
it.
Fuck
2021.
that, bro.
Yeah.
What?
You know, we're
Juan-
full on
Juan's
board,
lying.
Dynasty Wise.
He's gonna be a champion by 2020.
Yeah, earlier than expected. That pace is it's
me
better
tell
than a lot more.
Those are rookie numbers. We got to get those numbers.
Yeah, you need to get those numbers.
I
up.
mean, I'd rather I get paid the same whether
Right.
I fight
There we go.
number 30 or number
Yeah.
5. So I'll take number 30.
Not after we get involved.
Well, yeah.
McGregor money.
So DC's the heavyweight champ right now.
Yeah.
Right
Right.
now.
Right
Right
now.
now.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, so Derek Lewis is gonna get him.
Hey, who's to
A
say?
puncher's chance. Right?
Honestly,
Who you got, one?
if you can't say that, but I see it. If DC is smart and he comes with the strategy, he's going to chop the leg, maybe work the takedown, tire him out, and finish him. But if he tries to exchange,
How can you tire out Derek? I've seen him tired.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying quicker than norm and then
Yeah.
try and finish him. But I'm saying if he tries to exchange and stand, Derek's got more than a puncher's chance.
Right.
He's
Shit,
gonna
he'll
get
hit him
you
harder
standing up.
than Rumble hits you. I
yeah.
guarantee you that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
and
big
Rumble
time.
will send him flying across the ring. But DC has that chin. DC
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
no
big
slouch
time.
at heavyweight.
Big time.
DC is undefeated at heavyweight. He's fought the best of the best.
who do you have?
Mostly outside of the UFC. Oh, I got
Who's
Derek.
Southside? Oh, bet.
I got Derek. Derek's
Dynasty
fought
Watch.
15 times and what? He's won 12 of them up. I got Derek.
So I got it.
There we go.
All day, Derek Lewis,
That's
the
how I
Black
did.
Beast.
He just doesn't want DC coming up to him like, young man, why
Didn't
didn't
you
you pick me
actually-
on that podcast?
Didn't you actually train with him a little bit or something?
No,
Didn't you go to that gym?
I've never been.
I thought you went to Houston.
No, I've been to Main Street
Main
Boxing,
Street, that's what it
but
was.
Derek and I hope Derek was wrestling like right when I started fighting. But
Okay.
we don't train together.
Actually, that brings me to my next point. Right when you started fighting, weren't you training with Curtis Blades?
Yeah. I
He
was,
actually fought who I said the first time you were on that I would love to see you eventually fight, which would be Alistair Overeem. He's one of my favorite ever. And that I see you're probably going to be your fight right before you get ranked. It's going to be Alistair. I'm hoping.
Maybe.
I see
Yeah.
Alistar's trade bait.
Yeah, you guys got
real?
to understand.
Bring
For
it back
real.
the trade bait again.
These guys are ranked. You know, you guys just named like
all the
all the top
Yes.
5 guys. I just signed.
You ever
with the
heard
company,
Alexander
so-
Volkov, man? Any good?
Like, so, but no, we'll see what happens. I'll take whoever they put in front of me,
Yeah.
obviously. But it's it's a process, and I kind of got to trust their plan for me, how they're
course.
going to develop me and everything. For me, once people see me fight, they're fans, so I'm not super worried about all that. Whenever it happens, and whoever they put in front of me is going to meet the same fate. So I'm not worried about anything. I know once I get one fight, people are going to demand to see me more, and they'll have to supply that. So.
I got another question for you, and then if y'all want to ask them a question, we're going to go ahead and ask them those, and then we'll break out to the event and bring some Dynasty Wise guys and some people, maybe
For
the
sure.
owner of Twisted Acres Brewery into here and talk. But my question is, You're going to be in Milwaukee, Walkie.
No one's heard that song, man.
Nobody's heard the song. If you ain't ever look it up, that's their #1 song. I'm gonna say.
Look it up.
Don't quote me.
I don't know who sings it, but look it up.
Yes.
We'll take your word for it.
Milwaukee. But when you're in there and you make your weight, what's the #1 meal that you're going for? What are you eyeing? I don't know if they have. It's so cold up there. I don't know.
Milwaukee
do they have
steak.
Do they have a 4th meal up there? I don't know.
It's
gonna be devastating.
My trainer's actually making food for me this time for the refuel.
Oh, okay.
I will have my little Debbie care package
yes.
up there for right after the weigh-in.
Is that what you're calling her now? Get you in trouble.
Oh, he's trying over there.
So
that's the Kraken over there. Way over there.
So we've got a whole process that we go through to refuel and everything. We're trying to modify it each time, so I look a little less bloated when I'm in the cage.
Right.
It's real delicate how you refuel and how you do all this. If you do it improperly, you go in there bloated, sluggish, and slow. Right. If you don't do enough, you gas out. You don't really get that second wind. So it's a real delicate. Luckily for me, all my fights have been over too quickly for it to matter. But
dominant.
We still want to prepare for the worst case scenario.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. Always
stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
That's my motto.
There you go.
Did we just become best friends?
No.
You heard it here, folks.
Garrett's right over there.
Garrett, we need you to come in for Southside Collection. He's done.
You made my man take out his headphones.
Shit's getting
probably
real.
The Rockets too. It's probably going down the wire. We actually need an update for that, Garrett. So bring us that info. But this is the Juan the Kraken Adams. He's got a fight December 15th. UFC on Fox. It's the 31st one that they've had.
It's going to be the last one. So.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say they're about to
be
switching.
Really?
Yeah, they're about
That's
to be switching the contract.
Okay. Yeah, it's a ESPN. That's awesome.
Yes.
Good for you, man.
Can't wait.
That's fun.
There can't be another one that's been the last one, and you're on that card. Look at that. Look at that. History in the making.
Yep.
But honestly, you got to catch him. It's going to be free on Fox. If you don't tune in early, you're probably not going to catch it, to tell you the truth.
No, they'll replay it whenever.
It might be quick.
They'll replay it on the main card afterwards.
Oh,
you know.
When it's over.
Yeah, they have a
Like
minute 30 to feel like, well, Juan just killed somebody.
Yeah, we got 2 fights to show you.
Yeah.
Juan Adams and then another.
Yeah.
But if you want to plug your sponsors before you go.
Once again, Rhino Pro Truck Bed Liners. Best in the business, built Rhino tough, and Jet Hot. They are high performance. And let's see who else we got. Oh, Kinetic Sports Med out in League City. Dr. Tyler Bowman. He's the head of that. Ryan Casey Baker at thecheapmill.com. That's where I do all of my strength and conditioning as well as nutrition needs. And
blow up his Facebook page.
Oh, last but not least, FlemingAttorneys.com.
Yes.
For your legal issues.
I'm sure. I've heard have they been helping you with your? I've seen some of your stories.
I've been in
Mr.
court so many.
Speedster.
It's not even speed most of the time. It's like
I wouldn't call it speeding. I call it the
And
necessary.
You didn't
done
stop.
speeding.
You didn't stop at this stop sign.
Yeah.
I did stop at the stop sign. No, you
California
didn't.
roll is what they
You
call
coasted
it.
through it. I was like, well, my speedometer said 0, so by definition, that means I stopped.
Take this up with the Ford company, okay?
And then I was in court. So that's how that turned out.
And that's why he beats up cops in the UFC.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
In sanctioned events, you know.
Yeah. It's like De La Rocha is a cop.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We're giving you all the facts here.
Yeah, it's not often that a black man gets a sanction to, take out his frustrations on the cops.
There you
So.
There you go.
Go ahead and follow him on his Facebook page. Go ahead and give him a like, blow it up. Juan the Kraken Adams.
Yeah.
Follow Carlos Diaz at Southside.
Southside Collection on everything, man. We're a Houston lifestyle brand. This is what we do. We talk to Houston artists, Houston breweries. We also have a clothing line and stuff like that. That's on SouthsideCollection.com. But yeah, Southside Collection on any social media, you'll be able to find us and what we do.
On Twitter, it's Southside and then COLL.
You can just type in Southside Collection. That shit will
You're
come
gonna
up.
find
Yeah. we sound goofy, just Southside Cole.
Oh, yeah, we've been there.
But yeah, That's what we do.
Have you found your dinosaur costume yet? I know you were looking for one.
No, I was looking for a slutty dinosaur outfit.
I think you got to
You gotta
convert
bring the
a
slut to the
romper.
dinosaur.
Yeah.
What specific dinosaur is slutty, in your opinion?
Sluttosaurus.
Sluttosaurus
First-
Rex, you know.
Sluttosaurus Kraken. It's a new breed.
You know, the Horodactyl. You
There we
know.
go.
There's tons of
Damn
them
it.
out there, you know.
I'm your host, Rear Naked Joe. You can follow me on Twitter at DynastyWise_Joe. This has been brought to you by DynastyWise. Follow us for fantasy football needs. We've got another show that's coming to you live on radio. It's about baseball. It's going to be covering all through. The host, unfortunately, is an Indians fan, but
I thought you were going to say the host is an Indian. I was like, damn, I got to go, yo.
that is not what I said. You were
Kraken's out.
Dynasty Wise brings you all the smoke, all your combative sports needs. We're going to go ahead and break into the event and have some Dynasty Wise guys as well as the owner come on.
Sure. So,
Tell us how they can find us and do some Preeminence.
yeah, you can.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, all the good stuff. Thanks, Joe, for the segue there. I appreciate the setup.
I'll rock with you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm here with you. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's cool. Dynasty Wise here with Southside Collection. You can find us both at hptx.us. We haven't talked about their radio show yet, but we'll be Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. on KTXF on the TuneIn app, and I believe you are Friday night.
We are tonight, man. As soon as you turn this thing off, wait a couple hours.
Yeah.
12 to 4, we're gonna be playing nothing but Houston music. You know, talking tonight. We want to mix it up, you know,
Right.
but tonight's the pilot episode. We're gonna have a good time. Talk about what we normally talk about on the podcast. You know,
Yeah.
until the dead of night.
Yeah, y'all got those late night hours, but it is a Friday night, so you
Friday
know.
and Saturday. We're doing
Oh,
Fridays and
okay,
Saturdays.
okay,
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I mean, definitely sounds entertaining, so y'all should definitely check it out.
And that's free on the TuneIn app.
Everybody's bossy.
Well, now I'm the host of this show.
No, we're still on.
Need me to hop on? Oh, I didn't know if y'all need me off.
No, I don't know. We're gonna bring in some people, but it's up to you.
I can hop out man, if y'all need me to. Why are you not killing time?
Houston Preeminence.
I tell you what, Juan Adams is the complete package as far as fighting.
yeah.
He comes from a great wrestling base, but I saw him in his contender series. I mean, he took a pretty good short hook.
Yeah.
Didn't phase him. I mean, he got hit. He just kind of
Walked through
went,
it.
you know. So he's got the reach.
Right.
So he's beating people by striking, but he's got what most people consider that wrestling base. We
Right.
haven't really, I mean, and when he gets him on the ground, he's not a lay and pray guy.
Right.
You know,
That's why people actually like him.
exactly.
He's a wrestler that doesn't lay in pray.
Ben Askren come to UFC. That's boring as hell. Ben Askren.
That's why he hasn't been here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like you were talking like him, and then, Fedor's never needed to go to UFC.
Right.
You know, he's got Putin backing him up.
Oh,
so,
shit.
You know, and Fedor just leaves his. Fedor just doesn't care. He just leaves it like Alistair Overeem said about Fedor. Like they were gonna fight, they didn't fight. And they asked Alistair Overeem, "Oh, is Fedor scared?" He goes, "Fedor's not afraid to fight anybody. It's just his management,"
Right.
which is, I think, connected to the Russian mafia. It's like Fedor's this Christian; he's oblivious about his surroundings.
Oh,
you
he
know?
is not oblivious.
Yeah.
Fedor, you're fighting a whole
It's kind of like
country
when you
of
ask
scary,
when you
scary
ask
people.
Khabib about those things, and Khabib goes, "I don't understand." Like, oh,
Yeah,
you understood
yeah,
everything I said
yeah.
up until this point.
Yeah.
When I asked about
Khabib
those
knows
shady
people still disappear in Russia. It's
Right.
not hard to do.
Right.
Right. And, well, we're joined by Kyle, correct?
Yes.
Kyle, what's going on, man?
Just happy to come out and join you guys. Y'all are my two favorite things: Dynasty fantasy football and MMA. So those
MMA?
are my two favorite
And
things.
you're part of Houston Preeminence.
Yes, I'm mostly covering U of H because that's where I went. And
Okay.
also, I'm doing some beer stuff for them too. So
You're doing beer stuff for him, too?
yeah, they wanted to expand everything, so they have like a whole beer and wine, and I check out all the breweries in town. So like, yeah, we need somebody to write for that. I was like, well, I'll do that too. I don't mind.
I once went to this HEB in like a very rich part of town. There was like 8 old guys standing there, and they were talking wine. And I know like this much about it, but I just like stood in the circle. And while they were talking, it became silent for a second. and I said, I've heard the California Pinot is going to be really good this year. And I guess I was right because they all looked at me and going, yes. And I was like, okay, I got a bill.
But once you called yourself a Somalian, they knew oh, this guy's full of shit.
Yeah, right. I said, I'm the captain now. So you're going to be on HP and doing U of H sports. Are you going to cover all the sports of U of H, like football, baseball, wrestling, badminton?
Well, we don't have wrestling or badminton, but the big ones for sure.
Damn shame.
Yeah.
Football's my background more than anything, but I'll also be writing some on the basketball and baseball teams. I'm not going to lie. I'll try and put something occasionally about women's sports or
who
the
cares?
further niche, but not going to lie. I hate to be that way. I'm not a women's sports guy.
No.
Nothing wrong with it, but I can't watch it for
No
very
one
long.
cares about women. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm not saying that. You're saying that.
Houston Preeminence, Kyle.
That's all this guy right here, not me.
Yeah, my name is at Clay.
That's why I have pre-production meetings with Jeff. He tends to go off the rails.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but nobody knows what's going on with me.
I'll tell you what he is. He's a great bouncer, like, for people that annoy you. You just send him in,
Yeah.
and he gets them out of the way.
Yeah, just walk up and just start talking. Especially if it's women, they run when those guys start coming. Man,
I heard that guy hates women.
I heard women hate that guy.
There we go. It's a love-hate relationship.
So you're obviously a big guy, man. Did you play football?
I used to, yeah. In fact, I originally went to school to coach football. I'm an offensive line guy.
Okay.
That's why I've never seen
Oh.
him in person before.
Juan Adams.
And I'm not going to lie. There's not many people that scare me, and he physically scares me.
Well, I know.
He stares eye to eye with me, and he looks like he just walked out of a perfectly physiqued.
Last time
he looks
we-
like a god.
Yeah, it's like he's like 295 looks Sims. I'm 240 over there, look like a fat ass.
Like
I'm I hate you, Juan Adams.
Well, I weigh something, but it's
I was lucky enough to see Juan's big ass like the first time he ever fought.
Yeah.
This guy is fucking massive.
Yeah.
And then he won in total destruction. I was like, I gotta go talk to that guy because he just killed it.
Yeah, I got to get that guy on my side.
Like
Right.
I said, I'm a huge MMA fan too, and I mean, like y'all were talking earlier, like, Derek Lewis is awesome to watch because Derek
Right.
Lewis is like if you had like the great big fat guy that had just insane punching prowess like he does. Like he's like the everyday MMA fighter. Obviously, he's not everyday because very few people have that skill. But Juan, he just looks. I'm now after seeing him in person,
Yeah.
it's totally different in person. I have no doubt he's going to
Wreck
wreck the UFC.
He will, just what I said. But they wanted me to do a stare down with Juan, the great mashed potatoes versus the Kraken last time we had him. Dude, I mean, I did a great job, but looking at him, like his eyes get black, and you're just like, what the
You need
F
to wait,
am I
You
doing?
need to wait till he like wins a few more matches, so he's got like a lot more sponsorship money.
Right.
So when you do irritate him, maybe you'll get like a nice settlement package out of the deal.
Now, Carlos, tell me, agree with me or don't.
Okay.
Agree with me, but to me, Derek, the Black Beast Lewis, is like Tank Abbott 3.0 or something like that.
Man, I agree
But
with you in a sense.
But he has the heart.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a grab bag. Like Derek has it all, man. Like personality for sure. But yeah, he definitely has like the Tank Abbott feel about him. I
Well,
definitely
let's
feel
say
that.
this: who thought 3 years ago Derek Lewis would be fighting for the heavyweight title?
Shit, not Derek Lewis.
I mean, he'll tell you flat out he
Yeah.
didn't think. And I mean, y'all said it earlier. I don't know. I don't think he can beat Daniel Cormier, but it's pretty awesome he's getting that chance.
And there goes Carlos, I guess.
Yeah, I think he can beat Cormier. Now, I'm not saying he will, but he can.
See, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm happy Derek Lewis. I'm a Houston fan, so
Right.
I am the anti. A lot of MMA people hate him. I am the biggest Daniel Cormier fan that I know because he's just. I don't think he gets enough credit for how great he's been over his career.
I used to be anti-Cormier, mainly because I was pro Jones.
Well, that's the
And
thing.
then
You
all
know,
that
anybody
steroids there,
anybody
it kind of put things into perspective for me.
Take the steroids out.
Right.
Anybody that's anti-Cormier, the only thing he hasn't done in his career is beat John Jones.
yeah.
Who has beat John Jones?
Himself.
I mean, his loss isn't really a loss. Other
Right.
than that, it's cocaine or steroids. Nobody else has beaten John Jones.
Yeah. His only is the
And-
12-6 elbow.
And I mean,
Oh, yeah.
if anybody questioned Daniel
Well, it's the
Cormier,
cocaine.
which
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody should be questioning Daniel Cormier
Nah,
when he was
never.
light heavyweight champion, but he just knocked out Stipe Miocic. I mean, that's all you need to see.
Right.
I mean, he's not the GOAT. I'll say that, but he's up there. And
Man, but see, the GOAT conversation goes crazy.
you're never going to find the winner.
Right. The guy's undefeated at heavyweight. You know, it's just hard to look at who he's beaten at heavyweight and not call him one of the heavyweight GOATs.
Oh, I mean,
But all-time GOATs, yeah, that John Jones stuff kind of derails the party for him a little
that's
bit.
the hardest part. Because, see, I mean, who wasn't when he came up?
Right.
Who wasn't a John Jones fan?
Love him.
I mean, because everybody forgets he's such a prick now. But he was such a great guy when he got started. I mean, everybody forgets when he won his first championship. That day, he's meditating in a park and he stops a robbery.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He stopped a dude, and now it's the dude that's,
He went from running into crimes to running out of them.
Yeah.
now he's
Getting in car wrecks
rear-ending
and running.
hitting and running a pregnant woman in a car. And
Nice.
break- and-
Well, I'm
and-
sure if he knew she was pregnant, he wouldn't have done
Well,
it.
not-
Well, he might have not have done the cocaine.
Not that. Like,
We don't
I'm
know
sorry.
That's true, Clay. We don't know that.
Like, and all the crap he talks for no reason. I mean, that was honestly the spiked mic with him and Cormier for the first fight. That was when you first saw what John had become. And it's I can't root for him anymore. I just can't.
Dude, I've never seen a grown man cry like Cormier did, though.
Well,
I
have
felt
you
so
ever been
bad
hit
for
by
him.
John Jones?
I've several times. I said, whatever.
Well, I mean,
Mashed
there's-
potatoes. That's fine.
it's-
That's fine.
I think he cried just because you have to have that belief
Yeah.
that you're going into this
You just get
octagon
crushed.
for the second time now, yeah, and then you just get crushed. And you got crushed with what he said he was going to crush you with the first time.
Chuck
You know,
Liddell never cried. That's all I got to say.
Chuck Liddell never cried, but I think when you're on that much coke, it's hard to produce tears.
Who?
I mean,
Chuck- back to John
I'm
Jones?
going to be honest. I got it. I mean, like, Daniel Cormier's. I mean, like I said, I know I'm going on a tangent because I'm a huge fan of his. You know, he's been an Olympic guy. He's
Yeah,
been
of
I
course.
mean, he's done all these great things in his career. And
One
the
in
one
Strike
thing,
Force.
the one thing he
That's-
has left to do, the one thing he needed to do for himself at that point was beat John Jones, and he was winning the fight until he got caught the second time.
Yeah.
And that's got to be hard to take. That as much as you've
Right.
done,
It's just not enough.
You've literally done all you can do, and it's still
And
not
then
enough.
those words probably ring in his mind when John Jones says, "I'm getting, like, you're getting older, more, faster than I am. So like I haven't reached my peak." And then that stuff kind of has to echo in your head when now you're sitting here the second time you've lost. And
That's the other thing I don't get about John. Like, how are you talking crap when you're suspended the second time, dude?
'Cause he can.
It might be time just to stay off Twitter. And
because he can,
Yeah, he can.
Because it's like Dana said, because Dana gives him that type of rope to do these type of things. Because Dana, he'll go out and he'll say, "Yo, I'll never let John Jones headline a card again." And as soon as John Jones can headline a card again, he's like, "We're in the John Jones business."
well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So, Kyle,
Yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt,
No,
but
you're good. Go
I want
ahead.
to plug your show properly. When is it on?
I'm actually not a podcast. I'm strictly writing.
You're writing for Houston Preeminence,
Yeah.
hptx.us, correct, Clay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
I just
may
wanna make sure.
be
On the
we're
nose.
trying to get a U of H podcast going on there too, but right now it's still totally under construction.
Right.
So
Well, let me ask you two questions then about one, where Ed Oliver, top 5, he's going first.
I'm
And
gonna-
who do the Texans take in their draft if you've thought of it?
They're kicking me out.
Oh, we're not kicking you out. We don't like that guy. No, Carlos.
Ed Oliver, I can't say where he's going to go. I can tell you, I don't think there's anybody better in the draft. The guy, literally from his first down, when he opened at U of H, they opened against Oklahoma, so it's not like it was trash competition, and he dominated from day one. So wherever he goes,
Top 5.
I think he should be top 5. I mean, I don't think there's a better player. I forget his name. The defensive tackle at Alabama might have a shot, and then Bosa's brother.
Nick Bosa, yeah.
But-
But he got hurt.
Yeah, but he's quit college to focus on
He
rehab.
did the what was God? Now I can't think of it. The UCLA linebacker that's with the Jags now. Anyways, it's not important.
Miles Jack? No.
Yeah, Miles Jack.
Was he-
Miles Jack did
oh,
the
yeah, he
same
was
thing,
UCLA, yeah.
and he quit. But honestly, that's another thing I respect about Ed. Ed could have sat this whole year, and he'd have been a first round
Right.
pick. So.
Yeah, rare talent.
So we're joined by Robert, the co-owner. Should I say co-owner or owner? I don't want to get your wife mad at you. Right, and the owner of Twisted Acre Brewery.
Here in Cypress, Texas.
Yeah, can you give out the address, please?
It's 16103 Grant Road. We're in Space J in a warehouse facility. We're on the tail end. We're on the tail end of it. We've got a nice spot in the back. Got a nice view of the pond with a fountain going all the time and a nice seating ability to seat outside out back.
It's a great place.
Yeah,
I like
great
the
place.
atmosphere you got. You got the barn there. Of course, we've kind of messed up this room to fit in our podcast,
No problem.
but it's just a nice, solid place. Got the TV up there.
Bay doors
Good
open with the
play.
nice weather we got
The
right
weather's
now.
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely helps.
And it helps for brewing, too. 'Cause
Oh, does it?
I was dying about 6 months ago brewing it here.
Oh well, yeah. Okay, yeah, I get that. Now, Kyle, have you tried to brew here?
I've actually tried all his beer. See, that's the other thing. I also brew. So me and him were before the show started. We were talking beer
Kyle.
over there.
Kyle, I had to ask that question. Your mom called. Slow down. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
No, but he's got some pretty good beers. I really like his coffee porter.
Excuse me, did you say pretty good?
Pretty good.
Okay,
Great.
great
Okay, I
beers.
was just double checking.
I'll tell you what. You pick whatever adjective you want, and I'll use it. Okay.
I'm really not a beer drinker, but the honey had a good taste to it. What's the name of that again? The
It's a
honey
honey
one?
IPA called Bumbletree.
Yeah.
Bubble
And give us a brief history about your place here. Like you were telling me, like you built all this by hand.
Yes, sir. This was a journey me and my wife started, almost 8 years ago. It all started from a small little beer kit that she had bought me for a company I used to work for. And I'm very detailed when I do anything, and it's got to be by the book, by the numbers. And it turned out terrible, and I poured it down the drain. Right? So then I go from a little beer kit to I got to find out why it was bad. Let's find
Yeah.
out why. So then there's hours of research, and my wife makes fun of me because probably 10,000 YouTube videos later, and
It's amazing how YouTube is taken over as the go-to for
I could do
stuff like
brain
that.
surgery
Yes.
after about 6 months of watching YouTube.
100%.
And I read about
I built an aircraft carrier the other day, guys.
right?
and read about 4 books to do it, and then I went from that little kit to all grain. So I built a grain mill, keg washer, built a whole brewery in my garage, plumbed everything into my septic line and my sewer line. Homeowners doesn't know that, but
We won't give out the neighborhood or anything. So.
Yeah.
so and then it's addicting. I cannot even. Every home brewer knows if you've ever brewed anything at all at home, it is addicting. Next thing you know, you're going to brew shops. You're done.
Once you brew that first good beer, you can't stop.
Oh, it's amazing. I called my first one I ever did. I called my entire family, your neighbors, your friends. Hey, you need
You're
to come
that
and try
guy.
this, try this.
You're that guy taking beer to your
Yeah.
neighbor's doors. Hey, look what I did last night.
Oh man, and then it's like, then you got to just do something. Try to do something so unique and so different. And try to
Right.
be different.
Yeah.
What was the first one you did that was kind of your staple? Like, wow, this
I
is
did
good.
I did a red IPA. It was the first one I ever turned out was really good, and it was hopped, of course, and dry hopped in the secondary, and it was really good. And it was one of those moments where it was that aha moment when you took a sip and go, "Oh my God, this is
Right.
actually good."
Nice.
So I think it was good enough to share. So started calling people over that day. I had 27 people in my garage that night.
Beer Brewing Bob is what we're calling
You've
it.
got the
All
nickname.
right.
I gotta ask,
Please.
did you know before you kegged it? Did you taste it whenever?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same.
I-
How many times did you taste?
I taste everything when I'm done and on the cool down's done. After everything's been crashed, brought down the temperature, I taste it, and I know then I've got a pretty good shot at it. Even when when you're converting starches to sugars, you can taste it, and I'll start pairing hops at the time before I do any hop additions, and I can kind of get a feel for what it's going to taste like.
Yeah.
All right, let me just interrupt you about something that's going on. First off, thank you so much for y'all's hospitality. Y'all have really made us feel welcome, and I'm always joking around, but I really mean that. Thank you for your hospitality, but you've been cooking these wings all night. There's this kid here named Dylan.
I don't know who brought them.
Yeah, I don't know who brought him, but boy,
He's destroying the wings.
when your wife carried in the thing, he looked like a puppy in love.
His parents
followed
must not feed
right
him.
behind her. Man, he was like, I've never seen someone that happy before. I love wings. I've never been that happy, Kyle, when I saw
I've never
wings
seen
come
anybody
in.
actually eat and smile at the same time.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
And what is your wife's name? Nicole, correct?
Nicole, yeah.
Nicole.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, y'all have both been super great, man. This is gonna be a great place. I really want people. They're not open yet, but it's coming, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a tentative date?
We're shooting for somewhere, hopefully a week before Thanksgiving. That's what
Okay.
we're trying to shoot for. If it doesn't happen then, my wife's threatened to kill me if I try to open on
Well,
Thanksgiving.
Nicole.
The biggest drinking time of year is the
Black-
holidays,
I
so
try
I
to
mean that's
tell her
perfect
this.
timing.
So
Black
then
Friday,
it would-
right?
Yeah. Then I would say,
Friday.
Blacked out Friday.
Yes, blackout Friday.
Black Friday.
I like
No
it.
doubt.
Blackout Friday.
I would like to thank you guys for coming out. When Casey reached out to us and said, I watch the podcast and I love fantasy football. So the minute
Great,
if
man.
I can do beer, wings, and fantasy football at the same time, that's a pretty good night for me.
All right. Well, okay. You're a fantasy football guy. Let's. You just started your first season of a Dynasty League. Congratulations on that.
Thank
First
you.
of all, we promote Dynasty big time. It's in our name,
Hence
of
the
course.
name,
Not quite IDP yet. We're
Nope.
trying to get you there,
Yeah,
but
not yet.
You don't play IDP?
No,
Let's pack it up,
a
guys.
little bit at a time. A little bit at a time.
let's call it a day.
And we'll do our usual promo on that. If you're not doing IDP yet, you need to start. It's the only way to go. Why aren't you?
Right.
Yeah,
You big fantasy football guy?
I am. That's what I was telling him
Oh,
earlier.
yeah.
I'm also a big Dynasty guy. I got one that's it's a PPR with IDP, and then my other one's just regular team defense, and it's a standard, no PPR. We've been doing that one this is either 5th or 6th year now.
We're right in the middle. We do the half point PPR.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our first year to do Dynasty. I've been in the same group of guys for about 5 years. We had a keeper league and a standard league,
Yeah.
a PPR, and then
Right.
this year we decided to do a Dynasty league,
Nice.
which is like running a team.
Oh yeah,
You know, so
it is. It's
really
the most
cool.
real way to do fantasy
Yeah.
football. Period.
This season's been a killer for me, though. I'm
It's
not gonna
weird
lie.
season. Weird.
Dude, my regular, now granted it's not PPR or anything, so I have okay running backs, but my wide receiver core has Adam Thielen, Odell Beckham, and Mike Evans, and I am barely scraping in the playoff
You got-
picture right
Well, who's your running backs and quarterback?
now. Quarterback's actually not bad.
Adam Thielen's been great.
Adam
Yeah,
Thielen's
that's
been
a
the,
stud.
the
Adam
stud.
Thielen's been-
Yeah,
I got him off
Oh,
of
that's-
waivers
yeah.
2 years ago when the Texans
Oh,
played
wow.
up there. I was like, hey.
Yeah, that was kind of almost a breakout game for him against the Texans. I remember that game.
Stafford's my QB1
That's
right
not
now.
Stafford's
bad.
solid.
Who's your running backs?
Well, I traded for LaShawn McCoy a couple years ago for a couple of dump. I needed a
A
starter.
couple years ago, he was stud.
Stud.
Well, it
it's
was
kind of
2
hurting
years
this
ago.
year.
Yeah.
That's killing me, and y'all put me on the spot. Hang on.
Oh,
I
okay.
gotta
Well,
mess it
hold
up.
on. Let me tell you, Kyle. Let me tell you, I have Kyle.
Oh yeah. Jeff's tragic story.
Yeah,
at
here's
running
my
back.
tragic story. I have Dalvin Cook and Leonard Fournette.
Oh,
Like I
it
told
was good
them,
on paper to begin with, right?
I told them the other night I'm starting Robert Smallwood. It's not even
Yeah,
Wendell.
he's not even getting
Yeah.
real football players now. He's just gonna pick up guys that sound good.
I gotta be honest. I was never a fan of either of those guys. I didn't believe the hype. Just Leonard Fournette. It's showing up to me. He gets hurt too much.
He's the
man.
talent.
Yeah.
It's the
Last year, I
injuries.
had him, he was fantastic.
Well, it's the way he runs, man. He doesn't shy away from contact, and
No.
it's hard to stay on the field.
No.
But I had a brain fart for a second. Y'all put me on the spot. My
Sorry.
young running back right now is Joe Mixon.
Oh, I got Mixon on my team. I'm
You
so
like
glad.
guys that punch women? I got you.
No, he likes fantasy football players who score points.
Hey, look, I'm not a real GM.
I don't know what
man.
that is
Like,
this season.
I own
Yes.
a name. That's all I own.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
I
the way
don't-
I see it.
I
I'm not
cut
getting
'em.
endorsement deals.
Except for Cowboys.
Yeah.
Sorry. Even on my fantasy teams, I have an issue putting them on my team.
So-
Unless your name was Jason Witten or Sean Lee for about the last 10 years,
Yeah.
I wasn't touching you.
now
if
in
you're
my
a Cowboy.
PPR league, I got Joe Mixon again, and I got Christian McCaffrey.
There you
so
go,
I'm loving
McCaffrey.
my-
I
Solid.
got Barkley, McCaffrey, and Gordon.
Oh, that you're set. Dude. Good Lord. What are you playing with? 4 people?
Gordon, you talk about a breakout.
Are you
this
playing
year,
with 4
Gordon.
people and they're deaf and you just translate who they drafted?
He's
Oh.
another one I didn't see sustained success for.
Who's that?
Gordon. I just.
Oh, see, I've always liked him from day one. He was just,
He had a
was
bad
slow
rookie
starting
season,
getting into
yes,
the career.
sir.
But so did Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Gurley's killing it.
But I mean, look at him now. You know, sometimes those guys that come out and just bust it from day one, they're gonna fade away pretty quick. They're taking a lot of beating and
30 carries a game.
yeah. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, nobody. Where's that guy? That guy's going to be DeMarco Murray in 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Run him to death.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're putting DeMarco Murray on Zeke
I am
already?
because it's
Yeah,
the
right,
same
Kyle?
owner, the same coach, is everything. Why wouldn't I? What's different about that offense when Murray was there than there is now with Elliott,
A
nothing.
worse quarterback.
There was a actual
No.
decent quarterback in Tony Romo.
Yeah.
As much, I mean,
I'll give you decent. That's about as far as I would go on Tony Romo.
well, that's a lot better than Dak right now.
yes, which another guy I was not big on at all coming in, and I'm still not.
I'm going to say something. I'm trying not to say it.
That's not.
I'd love to hear
Is
it.
it PC? Non-PC. Okay. Run it by the producer, and then.
All right,
Hey,
Pat,
Pat's
this is what
trying
I'm
to
about
figure
to
out if he should
say.
say something or not. No.
It's about
If you have to ask, that's probably no, right?
Yes, if Jeff, you have to
what
ask.
rhymes with Romo.
Oh yeah, no, we're
Don't
not
do
going
that.
there.
Don't do that.
We're not going there.
Who are you to tell me, Kyle?
Joe Schmo. That's what rhymes with Romo. Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
Let's go with
Am
that.
I the only one though that, in hindsight, Romo doesn't get enough credit for his career?
He doesn't.
I
He
think
was
he
a
gets
solid bat,
too much
solid
credit for his
quarterback.
career.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think so.
How many playoff wins does he have? I can count them on no fingers.
Well, I'm going to say I am the furthest thing from a Dallas fan, but he got totally screwed with that Dez catch.
Okay, that's one time. How about the two or
Well,
three
how many-
other times
it's
that he
hard to
screwed
win,
himself
man.
over?
Well, it's hard to win for the Lions
How
when the
about-
game before they
how about
screwed
the-
them over
how about
for the
the
Cowboys.
how about the muffed extra point
Oh,
hold?
that-
And I mean,
He'll never live that. I don't see how
nor
you
should he.
I don't see how, as a coach, you have your starting QB as your holder. Like, once that decision's made that you're rolling Romo, you get a different person to hold the damn ball.
I'll
Well,
never.
I mean, late game drives, interceptions. You know, in late seasons, he was just when it came to being a clutch quarterback, he was horrible.
I like I said, I'm no Cowboy fan.
I'll
so,
never-
But I
And
don't.
you could have put him on another team. I'd still say the same things about. I because he was a Cowboy, he got as much attention and as much praise as he did. Vinny
I love him on
Testaverde
TV.
put a lot of yards. Putting yards up in numbers is not great when it comes to how good of a quarterback you are. You know, he's just not a great quarterback, and he never won anything, not even a playoff game. So how anybody could put him in any conversation?
He is not going to live down that field goal attempt. You know, never. I can't
or
live
dating
down that
Jessica Simpson
peeping
or-
Tom
Yeah, well,
charge. You know, Kyle.
Hate on him for that.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's Jessica Simpson. I mean, come on now.
his only chance was to get rid of that was to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
Win a playoff game I mean, anything. But he couldn't do it. So he retired a horrible quarterback to me.
Now, Robert, y'all going to be cooking every night for the people, or
We'll have food trucks out here.
Oh, okay.
We're working with a couple right now, trying to get started, trying to set up a lineup for people because, and try to find people who are unique, different. It's kind of like our beers. Our beers are all different. Nothing tastes the same. I want food trucks. That
I'll have
are
to talk to you off air
different
about
too.
that because I've got a good
Yeah.
one in Tomball.
Oh, cool.
It's, ugh.
I got a new one that just started out. They're called Rolling Local.
Mm-hmm.
They just got their food truck, and last night they come out here with the people who went on their GoFundMe to do a little event for them,
Mm-hmm.
and they did their first little practice test with their new food truck. It was beautiful,
Nice.
beautiful by the way, and their food was so fresh and so it's all healthy. And nothing was deep fried. I mean, how many food trucks you ever been
I'm
to?
out.
It was like,
all
I'm
right.
out.
I would say, me too. If you can fry it, I'll eat
Yeah.
it. But for the most part, it was fantastic.
Going
And it was
Shark
all
Tank.
fresh.
Don't hand me Kel, you son of a bitch.
It was fantastic, and they were really good. So they had just got started. They came out here last night to set up, and did with about 15
Nice.
of our people who helped them out. So
Great.
It was great.
Well, look, my mind jumps around, so I apologize to my good buddy Chad and you guys and the people out there. My mind just fantasy football, the beer, fantasy football, the beer.
Hey, it's all right.
We all do.
So let's talk about some of your beers that you're going to have here.
Yeah, we're going to open up with 5 beers. We're going to start. I tried to put everything in a palate range where everybody could have something, right? We're going to start with a Mexican lager that we have.
The green card.
Green card, yes, sir. And then we've got a Hefeweizen called Go Hef Yourself.
Nice.
And then we've got a.
Hey,
I like the Turner and Cooch.
Yeah, that's later. That's a seasonal.
All right.
We'll have that one, but
you haven't done it yet.
we're gonna open with that, and we'll have our honey IPA called Bumble Tree.
I had that.
Yep, we'll have our porter called the Lunch Special, and we have our 21 Gun Salute, which is our coffee stout.
Coffee style?
It's coffee stout.
Stout.
Coffee stout. What
Yep.
the heck is that? Hey, look at Dylan. He's fat now from all the wings he ate. Dude, you were following that lady like you were a little puppy dog. Those wings. Hey, I don't blame you. Look, I never got my size by not being, cautious.
Look at that. There's
Man,
3
that
left.
tray is almost done.
Kyle, have you had some wings?
Whose kid
I
is
have
that?
not.
Seriously.
So you're going to do that to
just
two
showed up.
fat guys who haven't had wings? You're about to die.
He can run faster.
Yeah.
He will slip and fall eventually.
Yeah.
Yes.
He'll twist
I'll
his
tell
ankle.
you now, you have permission to do whatever. That's,
Oh.
You can always have another kid.
I'll turn around.
Yeah, that's right. You can always have another kid.
Why?
There you
Oh,
go.
even
There
better,
you go.
Chad. Yeah.
But you were asking about coffee stouts. They're great because they're like Four Locos for grown-ups because you stay wired and you get drunk.
Hey,
It's the greatest
nice.
thing
It's
ever.
an up and a down and all the same.
Really?
shot. Yeah.
I figure, like, take NyQuil and then drink that and just see what happens. See if you fall asleep or you're wired.
Yeah, our coffee stout's got 21 pounds of coffee in it, so we try to make everything that actually tastes like.
I'm gonna have to
go.
go.
So
I'm gonna have to go try
It's
that.
got a little coffee kick to it, but it's very unique and different.
Oh,
No.
we're talking about the coffee?
Yes, sir.
21 Gun Salute, right?
Yes, sir.
I just had a sip of it back there. Actually, I had a full shot of it. It was
Casey's here.
delicious. Hey, guys. What's up?
Hey! Hey! Walk around.
Walk around, boy.
Yeah, just walk away.
Actually, I was actually telling Robert in the back when he had me trying his beers that usually I'm not the biggest fan of the Hefeweizen, and y'all's is delicious.
Thank you, sir.
Like, this is amazing.
Appreciate it.
Usually I go for the darker ones like the porters and stuff
Yep.
like that. But the Hefeweizen is actually my favorite. That's what I'm drinking right now. This is delicious.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan, to be honest, of Hefeweizens, but that was made. Every beer of ours has a story behind it. So when we got our license to get started, and we put it out on Facebook and stuff, we were getting a lot of Twitter trolls. Say that 3 times fast. That were just being brutal on stuff, And my wife, I love her to death, but she's very thin-skinned. She was
Yes.
hurting her feelings.
I have
right?
worked with her.
Yeah, and she was like, I wish I could tell him to go F himself. I said, well, I'll make a Hefeweizen called Go F Yourself.
Yeah.
And I'll tell him I'll buy it. The first round's on me. So that's kind of where that came from. And it turned out really good. And the yeast itself is, in Hefeweizens, gives it that clove taste already.
Yeah.
But we added additional clove to it. And it really gives a cool punch to it. And I'm a fan of it. Of course, I made it. That sounds pretty hypocritical, right? But it turned out really good. And because I usually don't like them, the spices in most of the Belgians and the Hefs I don't care for, but that one I really love.
You know what I love about the Belgians? I think it's the Belgians. Like during World War II, Germany obviously steamrolled them. No, I'm not going there. But when the American forces, the Allies started pushing Germany back, I think it's Belgium. Don't quote me on it. It could be Denmark. I don't know, but I don't care. This is a great story. But the Germans to run from the Allied
Bicycles.
running the aisle exactly. They German soldiers were just grabbing bicycles to ride off, and now even to this day, when Belgium and Germany play in the World Cup,
Sure.
the Belgian crowd just starts chanting, "Give us back our bikes! Give us back our bikes!" And it's the greatest thing in history. It's the greatest chant ever. Forget Florida State with that stupid thing. It's give us back our bikes. Let me ask you, how long does it take to make a beer?
Typical ales are typically the turnaround's about 17 days if you force carbonate. If you don't, it's a little bit longer. It's 5 to 7 days for carbonation. So the brewing process is the same length of time, whether you're brewing 5 gallons or whether you're brewing 100.
Yeah.
So it's anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, depends on what you're making and what kind of mash you're doing. But the fermentation time is about the same in ales, and then I force carb some of it if you're trying to get it done quickly. A lot of guys don't really like to do that. They just like to carbonate over time so you can get it carbonation to be right over about 5-7 days. You can do it in 3 if you really want to pump it up.
That's
So
it.
there's
Those are
no
those-
difference.
I'm impatient.
Yeah, those are those guys with their nose stuck up in there, no, my beer is better than yours.
Any home brewer in the world has force carbonated and shook their keg, shook the shit out of it to try to get CO2 in so they could taste it. Trust me.
That first time you keg a beer, you want to be able to drink in a day and a half.
Yeah.
Because if you don't brew, if you ever brew with somebody, to pay your dues, you have to brew and then bottle.
Oh, I hate bottling.
Because it is the biggest pain in the ass. And not only that, you're going to, after you do all the waiting, you're just going to wait more time before you get a drinkable beer.
Yeah.
and it's terrible.
I bottled it for about a minute. And it went straight to kegging after that. I was like, I can't
I think
do
we
it.
did a month
Can't do
before we made the investment into kegs.
I have I
Now,
don't have that kind of patience.
I do have to give you credit for one thing, because you are the first craft brewery I've ever seen that is willing to dress their beer.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, you're talking to him. I'm sorry. No.
Well, see, my wife is a tequila drinker by nature, loves margaritas, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes. And she's a fine judge of tequila. But when we made our Mexican lager, she really loves it dressed with salt and lime. And so she tries. I said, babe, let most of your craft beer drinkers want to taste it as is first.
Yeah.
Let me get the.
But she forced on me as well.
Yeah, let me get the real version first, and then if I want to do something to it,
Yeah.
let me have that. But she's pretty headstrong.
To say the least.
And if she's gonna make you one, it's probably coming dressed.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, you're gonna have to tell her to let off the trolls, because craft beer drinkers are some of the worst trolls in the
yeah, I
world.
tried to tell her when we started this adventure is you got to have thick skin, and when you're putting your passion and your love out in front of people, they'll crush your soul if you let them.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite beer that you make?
I like my honey IPA. I love IPAs.
Yeah.
You know, as a craft beer, the people who get into this venture, and, like any guys, they start drinking their Bud Lights, their Michelob Ultra, their Miller Lite, your commercial beer of choice. Just put it out there, and when I first tasted an IPA, I didn't care for it.
What?
And this is 20 years ago. You lost the cushion on you.
Yeah, I see that.
Um,
Damn, Dynasty wise are cheap stuff.
I didn't care for it, right? But your palate changes. It's like food, just like anything. Here we are,
I love you, Pat.
20 years later, and I love IPAs. They're my favorite.
Now, that's one thing I did tell you when we first started trying them back there
Yeah.
was I am not an IPA fan one bit. I don't like them. The first time I tried it, tasted like I just poured a bag of pennies in my mouth, and I didn't like it. But yours, like you said, you told me that honey in there really took back on the bitterness,
Yep.
and I actually could drink yours without like making that cringe in my face.
Well, another thing a lot of people don't know, see if he agrees with me, IPAs are some of the easiest beers to brew, because you can cover up a lot of flaws with a lot of
You
hops.
sure can.
Okay.
And so
Why don't you not crap on this man's craft by saying it's easy?
Hey, Pat, how you doing, man?
I'm just kidding.
no.
I'm kidding, Kyle.
That's what I'm saying. It's so the measure of a great brewery, like his the Green Card and the Hefeweizen, those are some of the hardest beers to make, especially the lager. That's to have a clean lager's a really, it shows you what a good brewer is. So he knows what he's doing.
No, he does. That's for damn sure.
Do you have guys like me, assholes, who come in and say, I don't drink IPAs?
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Give
all
me
the
a
time.
beer.
I get it all the time. I usually try to ask what kind of beer drinker you are. Let me see what your palate is used to. Let me see if I can get you into something that's going to get you. That's not going to shock you completely.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, craft beer hasn't caught up to Smirnoff for people like you, but we're getting there.
Jeff
No,
is a Smirnoff
Is that
guy.
a wine cooler? Because I love them.
Dear Lord.
He's talking about
Pat
how
said Zima.
he's not a craft beer guy. I've figured it out. See, hipsters were originally people that got into craft beer. Now the hipsters are the people that are moving
Oh,
away
you drink
from
craft beer? I like Boone's Farm.
Yeah, God. Bring
it's-
back the corduroy. Just go the opposite way.
Oh, God.
Are you calling me a hipster?
Yes, I am. I am for sure. I know you, Jeff, and you are a hipster. You
I'm not
hate
a hipster.
everything that everyone else does.
Yeah, but I hate everything. I don't choose. I just
Equal
hate
opportunity.
everything.
I hate
Yeah.
everybody.
No, I'm just a mead drinker. I like mead and,
Well, then you definitely should like the honey IPA.
Actually, you should give that a try. You
I
would
had
like
the
that.
honey IPA. It was
'Cause
good.
There's not a whole lot of difference. I
And
mean,
you
he's
know.
adding malt to it, but other than that, he's pretty much making a mead.
It's delicious, actually. It's one of the few IPAs I will actually stand to drink.
I'm going to try that coffee one.
Well, you said your first one was a red IPA. How come you don't have a red IPA on there? That is my favorite
That's
beer.
funny. It just changed over the years. You start playing with recipes and fine tuning them, and next thing you know, when you get something you're consistently good at, I can turn the 11 that we do, I can do them consistent. So the red IPA changed a little bit, and it's ventured into other things like the honey IPA. That recipe started as a red IPA, and then it changed a little here and there. It started coming out. The red came out, and it's more of it's not red anymore. It's just playing with it. But I do love them. It was one of the first ones I ever did.
Are there different colors like blue IPA?
It'd be tough to make a blue one.
I don't know. There's red, but I'm saying if you combine red and blue, it makes purple. like if you take Big Red and Big
Oh
Blue,
my God.
you make
bless.
Big Perp, and it's
Awesome.
it's the nectar. It's the nectar of the gods.
So when me and Jeff,
it's
rode-
why my blood sugar level is at 400 right now.
So when me and Jeff
They
rode
just
used
call
to,
that one diabetes.
Yes. When me and Jeffro used to work together, he made that blend one day and he showed me. I was like, "That's delicious. I can only probably have one, every month." But let me go ahead and try it. And I mixed one up for him. He goes, "That's amazing. You
Yeah.
are the mixologist
He's
on my
got
big
his
perp."
like 45% of Big Blue or Big Red, and he won't. It's a secret.
You won't tell you?
I love
That's
Big
awesome.
Blue too, Chelsea. It's
You need
good.
to open
you need
up
to
a
try Big
bar
Perp.
in front of the soda stands at Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on up, see?
Try this big perp here.
Right.
I don't know. I think I feel like I'd get a lot of those hobos walking in like, "Oh, I'll try some big perp for 99 cents."
Yeah, Dad on road trips, Pat saying.
You shut up back there.
It's like I had so many big perps, as we call it, because it made the color purple, not the movie with, what's her name? But Oprah. But like I went to my doctor, and my doctor, it's like, well, we found blood in your sugar, basically.
See, what Jeff didn't know
we
is
cut
I was
you-
trying my hardest to get rid of them.
Pixie
and
sticks start pouring out when they catch you.
yeah, I was feeding him straight sugar, and
Yeah,
he wouldn't die. It actually made him better. Like he wouldn't miss a day of work when I was feeding him big perps, and then I stopped. And next thing I know,
Start calling in,
like, "Hey
making-
Jeff, where are you?" He's like, "Dude, I haven't had a big perp in weeks."
I'm feeding.
I didn't know like diabetes, like medical terms and medical things just suck because they're so like
Diabetes.
crazy, because it's like well your diabetes at 500. I'm like hell yeah,
My score is
I'm
good.
like that's a high score. I know that's bad. And then like you go and you get your HIV test and people are like the doctor comes in and goes your HIV test is positive. Yeah, hell yeah, I passed that one. Like no, it's supposed to be down. I'm like I don't understand. You're a quack doctor. I'm gonna find someone else.
I was trained my whole life that positive is a good thing, and now you're saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah, man, I guess I need 8 years of school to understand this crap.
So did you get the unicorn frappuccino a couple months ago too?
No, I didn't. I've actually I've kind of been chilling out on it because of my diabetes. It's just too high. So, I even did that carnivore diet. You know what that is?
I'm guessing you eat all meat.
You just eat meat. That's all you eat is
Yeah, but he
meat.
specialized in man meat.
Well, that's another story altogether.
The fuck? but like I ran out of my insulin, and on that diet for a month, I went down from 330 to like 156, man.
Damn.
So
You need to stay on that.
I'm talking about.
I really miss my fight name mashed potatoes a lot. So I'm adding in avocados and some greens because it's every diet guru, every diet works. So hey, if you got bad diabetes, go for it. But you can't quit beer.
No, I
You know?
can't quit. I actually looked okay for a while, and then I have
You look fine.
No, I look terrible now. I have 16-month-old twin girls. I don't do anything.
That'll do it to you.
Oh, dude, all I do, I don't know how I'm here tonight. My wife's like, yeah, you can go. All you do, you get home from work, and it's even more work. You're just like, what do you want? They don't, and they're both girls. So,
I'm sorry about that.
oh, it literally went from. Don't get me wrong, I love my children. I can't imagine other.
They're
children.
not listening.
No.
But it went from a
should be
surprise
asleep.
pregnancy to surprise twins to then they're both being girls. I was just like,
Surprise! Too
Luckily,
surprised
the-
you can go out tonight.
luckily the delivery went okay. I was like, if I have another bad surprise in this whole ordeal,
You mean like
it's-
another set of twin girls coming along?
Oh, I don't
wouldn't
touch
wish-
my wife anymore. we look at each other. It's like we've sailed away.
When she said you can go out tonight, were you like the cartoon Roadrunner was like dust where you wore? It's like
I'm actually pretty lucky. She didn't. But yes, I didn't hang around.
I was about to say, did you even make it home? Did you on the ride home, hey, I got this thing tonight? She's like, yeah, you sure you can go? All right, baby, love you, bye.
Kept on going.
I'm going to hang up now. I'm turning
I-
around.
Great.
I gotta do business and I gotta go to this great new brewery.
Which, again, thank you again, Robert, for
Hey,
having
no
us,
problem,
man.
Guys. It's been a blast. It really is. The opportunity for you guys to come out was fantastic. Fantasy football and beer, that's pretty for a guy.
I mean, how much better can you get? We got wings,
There you go.
fantasy football, and beer.
That's pretty good right there.
Yeah.
Rookie
It's my
draft season.
Shangri-La.
A what?
Rookie drafts next year.
A rookie draft?
We,
A rookie draft every year.
yeah, we do rookie draft every year.
Here.
Oh, do a rookie draft here.
Actually, yeah. Hey, what do you think about that, Robert?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. Now,
And
how hard is it going to be for us to be able to switch you over to IDP?
Not very.
I about to say I heard y'all talking about it earlier, and I mean,
Yeah, you have a wife. I don't know why you're not playing IDP.
nothing, Nicole. You stay over there.
Yeah. I listened to the podcast and I listened to some of you guys talk about it, so I started looking into it, checking it out. I was like, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a really cool.
Real men brew. I'm sorry, Casey. Real men brew their own beer. Real men play IDP.
I mean, moving over to it, most people when they asked about it, it's like that just seems like it's way too much work, way too much, to follow up on. I told them it actually makes it a lot more fun.
If you don't, why do fantasy football if you're not into that?
Yeah.
I mean, because I love to manage a team, and I watch it 24/7, and I try to find the best matchup. Who's got the best matchup this week versus the other guy? That's part of the whole lure of it.
I mean, I was at work last night watching the Texans, and then this is like the first year I've ever really loved Kareem Jackson. Me and Jeff here have been actually trying our hardest to get whatever we could to Texans management to make them go and move him to a safety.
It's been like 6 years.
We've been asking for it for so many years, and they finally do it. And I made sure to pick him up in our Dynasty League.
Good hits last night,
and he got me 16 points.
Do you know how much money they've made him? I didn't realize this is last year under contract.
Yeah.
They are making him rich.
Yeah. I hope they actually re-sign him. He's our best safety on the team. I got to say, I am a big fan of Justin Reed.
Yeah.
Justin Reed and then the man of the night last night, Jordan Thomas, are amazing.
Yeah. The Jordans, Akins, and Thomas are the future of this team.
Well, what I can say about those two guys, Jordan Thomas and Justin Reed, I went to one of the training camps, Texans training camp. I actually have a picture on my phone. But they have that little tent where you can go, and if you pay, $150, $200, however much it is, you can stand in line and get an autograph as the players walk back from the field to the locker room. Jordan Thomas, he didn't even go to the tent. He went to the far side of the field where all the other fans were standing that didn't have the money for that, and stood there for an hour and a half signing autographs for people.
That is awesome.
And the next thing I know, after I got his, I got a picture with him. He got him to sign my hat. Next thing I know, I saw Justin Reed working his way up the line of row of people, just getting them free autographs. And I made sure, I was like, dude, I need to get a picture with you. I need to get your autograph, all that kind of stuff. And he was so humble.
Justin Reed is going to be the next Tyrann Mathieu.
He plays really well for a rookie, man.
He's so smart,
Yes,
and he's got the athleticism to go with. I mean, he went to Stanford. Let's not forget, but you definitely, it's already there. It's
You know what? Speaking of rich, we're talking great rich beers here at
Twisted Acre.
What do you think of that plug?
That was a good plug.
I
Casey's got a
did.
Nice shirt on. Nice
that's
shirt.
Radio Pro
We're
right
talking
there.
about it.
Thank you. Tell Jason because But again, you're looking to open up maybe like around Thanksgiving time.
Yep. Hopefully, the week before Thanksgiving, if everything works out, we've got our occupancy taken care of this week. We've got to get the health department to come out and check out, make sure we're not killing anybody.
Right.
And hopefully all that works out so we can actually open the doors and actually make this work.
All right,
This is like I'm on the verge of making a dream come true.
all right.
I mean, just
But what are you wanting this to become? Is this your retirement plan in
brothel?
place?
This is my retirement plan. Well, that's later. Come on. That's
You know how
off
pissed I am at the
off the
city of
menu.
Houston
That's
that
off the menu.
the city used to ban that robot brothel.
That
You know
was
how
Jeff's
pissed
one hope.
And then they're like,
You already bought a season pass,
and
didn't
then
you?
and then they were like threatening. Then like the city's like, we're gonna take pictures and put it on the internet. Man, I'd be walking by. going,
Jeff was the guy strolling in with the happy face on. Like,
I gotta say that is the dumbest thing to ban. Like, I get
Yeah.
I would never visit it, but like, who really cares?
yeah.
Let's keep it to illegal prostitution. Let's keep it to sex trafficking, fellas. None of these robots.
These robots have
Let's not
feelings
allow
too,
this
guys.
that might stop little young girls being driven up from Mexico. I said it. They're probably there's some shady places around
Yeah,
this town.
I wait on the border for them.
And there it
That's
goes.
awesome.
Man, that's probably Jeff should be getting off the pod soon. But
Drop the mic.
I Robert, I'm sorry. I apologize. I always cut people off. My bad. But
all right.
but
Squirrel.
your dream was what is Casey's question was what do you want this to become?
Well, to be honest, this started out as growing up, I grew up as every Sunday was spending time with your family, playing washers or horseshoes in the backyard,
Right.
having a few beers, maybe betting a buck or two on the horseshoe game or the washer game, and it was the best time. You hated Monday to show up, right?
Yeah.
So if you can do this for a living, and not have to worry about Monday showing up,
Yeah.
you know,
Everybody else sitting there worried about Monday. You're like, oh man, I get to go back to the brewery.
I would
tomorrow.
do it for free.
Yeah.
You know, I would do it for free.
Nicole, cut that part out in case Nicole heard it. See, I should watch about. I see you got a cornhole board over there. Is that what it's called, cornhole?
Yep, and I'm gonna get a few more made, and I'm gonna put our logo on a few of them, stuff like that. You know?
We have Dynasty-wise cornhole boards. Do you want to buy some? $20,000.
I'll play you for them.
No,
Ooh.
$20,000.
I'll spot you.
Oh, Pat's getting
I'll
up,
spot you
folks.
5 points.
Now, see, Jeff is one of those tricky guys. He doesn't look athletic at all. Like, he is one of those guys that looks like he lacks every bit of athletic ability. But we made some terrific warehouse Olympics back in the day.
That's awesome.
And for some reason, he is actually really good at the sports that never matter.
Yes,
And-
there you go.
That's like
I
my
know I've
life.
seen you on ESPN 8.
Shuffleboard.
Oh, yeah, we are
The
ESPN the
Ocho.
Ocho.
The Ocho, that was me.
The Ocho, that's great.
And he threw that frog 28 yards.
Now, Pat's greatest performance was pallet jack racing.
Oh, that's good.
In and out of alleys throughout a warehouse. Now, him and Steve-O, oh, man, those were some good races.
That sounds amazing.
Put some money down.
It actually is a lot of fun.
I worked, my second real job ever was working at Home Depot. And my favorite part was I could use the pallet jacks as a scooter because my big ass.
That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
we,
that's
yeah,
what we
yeah,
did.
yeah.
That's the closest to a scooter.
One
I've
foot
got.
on there,
Yep,
you just
Pat
pedal.
knows.
I worked 9 years there.
At
Right.
Home Depot?
Yep.
And no
When I
wonder
was-
you
when I
came
was
to make a
probably
brewery.
20 years old, 18 years old.
And now look at you making beers.
Hey, there you go.
Man, I'm real excited for you. I could just tell you and your wife are good people.
Oh.
And it just does, just fills your heart, to see people following their dreams.
If
You
it wasn't
know-
for my wife, this I probably wouldn't have done it because I'm very conscious of my family. I have to take. I'm from old school. You take care of your family no matter what.
Amen.
Right? You're the guy who goes to work every day. You put bread on the table. You make sure the bills are paid. You take care of all your family no matter what it takes. And to take a leap of faith like this was hard for me, and I didn't like change. Most people don't. You
Yeah.
don't like change. You're comfortable in something, and then you don't want to do it. So she was the push, the prod, the hey, take the leap and let's just see what happens. you
She
know?
is very forceful at times.
Yeah,
Well, she worked with Casey. Of course, she wanted to
Yeah,
take a leap. She was
yeah.
going to take a leap off a short pair.
yeah.
Anything better than Casey? No.
That's true.
No, I just, like I say, I love seeing it. The place is great, and I don't want the people out there to think I'm saying that because we're here and you allowed us to be here. Well, when we go on the air Monday, maybe I'll but no, it's just a great place. It's got a great y'all have already created a great atmosphere, and you're not even open yet.
Yeah.
5 beers on tap. I'm gonna go try the coffee here in a minute. But again, Dynasty Wise just wants to thank you for having us here.
Hey, no
And
problem.
I know we definitely are going to want to come back.
Hey, definitely.
And Kyle, you can show up too. And
Actually, I think that was a great idea, Kyle. Have a rookie draft here.
Sometime.
Have it on air. I mean,
You
we
know,
do. We usually do our rookie draft for our. I know for Dynasty Wise, we do ours the third weekend in July.
right.
And that's usually when we have ours.
Yeah.
We have it after the draft, but we have it before preseason starts.
Sure.
That way, you actually do your homework on
Yeah.
all the rookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I got a bunch of casual guys in my league, so they're always whining. I want to have it that exact time. They're like, "Can we wait a little longer?" I'm like, "Guys, no."
We have a casual guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who's our casual guy, Jeff?
Ghost team.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Pat's going to be taking y'all on the tour. Let me ask you guys a fantasy football question. Would you trade the first pick in a dynasty league and the first pick of the second round? No, you have the first pick in a dynasty league. So you're giving up the first pick in the first round, and then you're giving up the first pick in the second round for
This is not me, by the way.
What's his
Josh Gordon.
for Josh Gordon?
No.
Oh
hell
my
no.
God!
Hell no.
This is not me. This is not me. Don't look at me like that. This is not me.
No.
Who?
So
who did
it's
this?
a guy we brought into the league. I brought into the league. He is a.
Would-
You actually know him, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. I brought Chris into the SSFFL, and one of his first major moves he did was trade.
No, he dropped.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the trade.
Okay.
I'm not talking
All
about
right.
the drop. The drop.
Oh, wait, this
That's
gets
like- that's
better.
another
The drop
one.
was.
Okay.
I don't know what Chris is doing out there, but his trade was a first round pick and a second round pick for Josh Gordon.
Okay.
Now
Now-
I get where you come from wanting Josh Gordon because he is a big Pats fan.
There's some upside.
He's a big
to
Pats
him
fan.
if he's-
And at the moment, he is one of the best receivers on their team.
Sure.
The whole problem is he going to stay off marijuana?
Sure.
Is he going to smoke some more?
Is he going to get suspended?
Is he going to get suspended? Is he going to play there next year? 'Cause you never know with the
That's the
Patriots play.
one
The
year, sure.
only person to stay on that team with the tenure besides Tom Brady is Gronkowski.
Gronk.
Yeah, that is it. Because Belichick knows he can win with any system with anybody, or with his system, he can win with anybody that comes through as long as he has the right quarterback there.
Yep.
But that trade was everybody was like, "What is your guy doing?" I walked away. I was like, "I'm not talking."
How did y'all didn't veto that?
We don't veto
We don't
trades.
veto trades.
If you're stupid enough to make a trade, we
Then
let it happen.
That's on you.
Would you say that he's on the spectrum for that trade?
Sure. I guess.
Do you know what I mean?
I just call him a dumbass, but
That's fine.
Well, you know, that wasn't the medical term back in the 1800s. Retard was the medical term back in the 1800s.
it's like grid.
We're gonna cut Jeff off again.
We're gonna bleep that out. Like,
And then, can I tell him who he dropped?
Go ahead.
Just out of the blue, he drops Aaron Donald, IDP. Why? Because he's on the spectrum.
I really don't know what Chris was thinking. Like, I really don't. I'm like sitting here, dude. I brought you into this league that I love, and you are making me feel.
look bad.
You're making me feel like I'm a complete idiot for bringing you in. Every time. And the bad thing is, I think he wasn't ready for a dynasty / IDP league because right now in the Willie's league, he's leading it.
It's
he
a
is 6-1.
totally different animal.
It is. It's completely different. You can't think about what am I going to do for now? How am I going to win right now? You have to think about the future. And Aaron Donald is a
That's
key
something
piece
I
you
have
build
to-
around.
That's something I have to learn because right now I'm 6-1, but I'm planning to win this year, and I've given up
Yes.
some cogs.
Yeah.
which
Well,
is gonna
if you're
hurt me
in
later.
a chance to win, it's okay. I mean, championships win all. I will say that. I'm not
Fucking
afraid.
Brian.
But I got a trade for you, and I was actually I kind of trade raped the guy. So
Trade rape, is that a term?
It is
oh,
now.
excuse me, it's a bad term nowadays.
Trade
Yeah.
sexual assault.
Martavis Bryant rookie year, somebody dropped him, so I picked him up. Well, then he had a couple of really big weeks, and
You traded him back.
oh yes, but it
What?
worked.
Tell us.
Some idiot sent me a trade of Mike Evans for Martavis Bryant.
Ooh.
And I couldn't hit accept fast enough.
You move too fast and you get so
Of course,
nervous
I
you
was
hit deny.
smart. We do have veto, so I kept my mouth shut for the whole wait period.
No.
And I called him right afterwards, and I was like, you just screwed yourself bad. He's like, I don't understand. He's doing good.
Yeah, just wait.
Yeah, you don't understand.
Where's
course.
he at now?
No.
Now, if it was
He's-
Juju
now-
Smith-Schuster, I think that's an even trade.
Where's
but
that guy now? He's in
He's-
SSFFL, apparently.
Martavis Bryant? Yeah, he is in Oakland not doing
Yeah,
anything.
Nothing. PPR is like 5-6.
He's
points a
on
week.
Yeah.
borrowed time.
How does anybody feel about any player besides Derek Carr on the Oakland Raiders? Like, you never know where they're going to be after the Week 8 deadline.
I have a totally conspiracy theory about this.
Okay.
I personally think John Gruden has never gotten over being traded to the Buccaneers.
Oh, that's perfect.
And so it's been a secret master plan of his while he's been on ESPN
To come back.
To come back.
And
So think about this. He's not only come back, he got the dumbest coaching contract I've ever seen.
You
It's
mean
the Raiders. Have
the
you seen the
best
hair?
for him?
Have you seen
Oh,
the
it's-
haircut of the general manager, the owner?
So now that he's got that contract, I think it's all about trying to get fired. So he can
How much of that was guaranteed to him?
It's all guaranteed.
Jesus Christ.
Coaching unless he does something like to get fired for cause.
Yeah.
But like if he just gets fired because he's I don't know, screwing up the whole franchise.
He's still guaranteed that $103 million or whatever?
Yeah.
Jesus.
All head coaching contracts are like that. Once you sign that deal, unless you do like a Lane Kiffin did something so he didn't have to pay him when he got fired from the Raiders, they have to pay your whole contract.
Well, you know the Raiders still owe what's his name money. Shanahan, not the son. But, what's his name?
Mike.
Yeah,
Mike
the Raiders
Shanahan.
still owe him money because they disputed it, and they still owe Mike Shanahan. According to Mike Shanahan, he was like, "Yeah, they still owe me money," and that's just the way the Raiders operate. You know, it's just a shady team. Al Day was like, "That guy's fast, draft him." You know, it's like that was.
It's not shady. It's
ran
him
track?
and Jerry Jones. They don't know football anymore, but they pretend they do. They get Al Davis didn't get facelifts. Jerry Jones just gets more facelifts. I still know what I'm doing. So.
So
Al Davis needed a facelift.
Al Davis, let's be honest. I think he was dead for
His
4
hair.
years before he actually died.
it was
He
just
liter-
all the booze and everything.
He
keeping
looks
him
like
little.
a horror movie villain. Let's.
That's awesome.
Jerry Jones looks like a octopus that came up on land and got beat by a baseball bat.
Jerry Jones looks like a B-level Bond villain these days.
He really does. That's better. Yeah, he really
a Bond
does.
villain from the TV show.
Especially
yeah.
like the best one when he made his son-in-law clean his glasses. Did y'all see that when they got that clip?
That is awesome.
It was like 2 years ago. Literally, he took off his glasses, handed them to his son-in-law, and made him clean it.
That's awesome.
And they got the camera on him right then. So I'm like,
Oh.
I mean, you obviously would like to be Jerry Jones' son-in-law because you don't have to work or
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah, but he stole his
But
manhood.
I mean,
Yeah, he really did.
manhood for money, I will do it, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
I have to go look that clip up because other than that, my favorite clip throughout, like the whole pan off to like the club seats and all that stuff was always when Peyton won his second Super Bowl and they panned over to Eli. The entire family's cheering and the
yeah.
crowd and everything. He's just going
Yeah.
like he has the worst look on his face. Like
I had my one thing.
I had
Because
one
he
thing
was-
over Peyton.
Yeah.
Dad actually loved me, and now it's gone.
That's because Eli's missing a chromosome. He always looks like that. Jesus Christ. I don't know who it is.
That's him, buddy.
How
Yeah.
do you think Cooper Manning feels like?
Oh my God.
He's like an
you mean the
executive.
brother no one knows about?
No.
Like
I can help you. I don't care. Where's Peyton?
that's
Peyton's
like-
still making more money than Eli.
Cooper Manning is like that the partner at Apple that got out before it hit big.
Yeah. And he's hating his life right
Oh,
now.
what's his name? The original drummer from the Beatles. I can't think of his name, but yeah, right. Yeah, forget it. But Kyle, let's start to wrap it up. Kyle, you're going to be on Houston Preeminence, writing articles about U of H football, U of H baseball.
Yeah, pretty much anything U of H sports. Like I said, baseball, basketball, and baseball being the main ones. Also going to be doing their beer articles, so I'll be probably talking to this guy soon.
Yeah, definitely. You can come back here.
And I'm just happy to be involved. So that's pretty much, this is my first deal in sports media. I've always had the itch I wanted to scratch, so this is my first attempt, so we'll see how it goes.
Definitely. It's going to be hptx.us. We'll be launching November 1st on TuneIn Radio. Pat, are we still doing the $75 buy-in for the Christmas? Yes. If you're a poker player, if you get a subscription to Houston Preeminence, the $75, I think it's called the Platinum Plus, I believe, you get that buys you a ticket. First off, you get 2 years of Dynasty Wise and him, and unfortunately me, but you will get a seat at our Christmas table, our Christmas poker table, where you have a chance to win $10,000.
Yeah, somebody's walking out with $10,000. That's-
Someone's getting jumped in the parking lot by Dynasty Wise after winning $10,000, unless it's Juan Adams. You
Oh
know?
no, it'd take all of us to take that
That's
guy
a big
down.
boy.
Yeah, yes, he is.
well, we need to make sure they schedule that during his fight, so he won't.
Everybody's looking up, and you're just like,
Well, we've decided in Dynasty Wise, we're going to draw straws. Like when that poker tournament's coming up, whoever gets like the shorter straws, like, that's it, I quit Dynasty Wise, and then go play the poker. Then we set them back in, But Kyle, man, we appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, I
You're
had a
part of the
blast,
family
guys.
now with us. And Casey, you got anything to plug?
I just want to thank Robert and Nicole. Her name's Lauren, but she doesn't. She hates that name.
Oh.
But Robert and
Yes, she does.
yeah, and just thank y'all for letting us come out tonight, having this out here. You know, this was awesome. I know we've been talking about it for a little bit now, ever since I heard about you opening this place up. But I just want to say thank you again, and I just have one last question for you. Yeah, you said about you wanted to talk about IDP, going IDP probably next year, something like that.
Yep.
What's the first defensive player you would select? And that's it.
Now,
Josh Gordon.
I'm not. Okay. I mentioned again. I don't know a lot about IDP. Can you pick anybody, or is it
It's
just
like with Dynasty, with SSFFL, you play 2 defensive backs, 2 linebackers, which is any of the linebacker spots, and then any linemen. And so that's defensive end, defensive tackles. So you have 2 of each of those.
now? Correct me if I'm wrong. That would be Khalil Mack.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
defensive
I'd
line.
probably go
That's a
That's a pretty good selection.
I think you're going to do
That guy-
okay with
that guy
IDP,
is a maniac. Man.
right? John Gruden was like we need to get some pass rush after he traded. I'm like, you freaking mon-.
Are
Which
you
goes perfect for
doing?
what Kyle said. Kyle was on the ball.
I'm telling you,
Kyle's a genius.
he is. John Gruden is not that dumb.
Yeah,
Dude, that guy
He's doing all
is-
this on purpose.
Is a freak of nature.
yeah, he really
that guy
is.
comes off the snap so fast. It's just nobody can slow him down.
Reminds me of me when the pizza guy knocks on the door. I come off that couch
When
so
the big-
fast.
When the big perp's been made.
Where the big pert's been made, but is Pat coming on? Oh, okay, all right. And why don't you come on now, Pat? Or no, hold on. Just stay there. Hey,
I just,
hey, sorry.
I just want to thank you guys for coming out. I really had a blast. This was fun. It was great.
We would like to say I want to parrot what Casey said. Thank you for having us. Thank you for the great hospitality. I suffer from agoraphobia and social anxiety. It's really bad, but I feel welcome. Shut up, Pat.
No,
I feel welcome here. You know, I've gotten relaxed more since being here, but you're going to have 5 brews looking to open up around Thanksgiving. Please give out the address here.
It's 16103 Grant Road, Cypress, Texas, 77429. If you do your Google search, put in Twisted Acre Brewery, it'll pop right up.
Yep.
And you're kind of in the back here,
Yes, sir.
you know, so, I mean, it's not like a far drive. You're kind of like the 5th or 6th
yeah.
place down.
Yep.
I know no one can see it right now, but there is a beautiful fountain in this pond right behind us. It is actually quite amazing. Pat, can you show them real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have seating out in the back, so we'll have seating, especially when the weather's been cool like this. Hopefully it stays this way for a while and before it gets too cold.
But say if you want, I can always get one of those big swan like blow up floaties and just
That I
put
can-
Jeff out on that.
In my underwear. My tidy whities just
know if
floating.
That'll draw everybody back into your
Yeah,
boat.
they're-
Speedo.
Force them all this way.
No,
Yeah.
tidy whities, Kyle. Come on, I got some class,
some
not
class.
speedo. Yeah.
Tidy.
So yes, that will drive business back to the tap room I see over there.
Jeff in a banana hammock on a
That would make me want to drink, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get those beer goggles going real fast for me. But
I don't think I'll make enough beer.
we got 17
Nice
days to make it.
Nice
so
one.
you know. Anyway, we're gonna have Pat come on and do some plugs. You guys may go. You can sit here. It doesn't matter. But Pat's gonna come on and do some plugs. We want to thank you people for tuning in. Thank you to Juan Adams for coming out. Again, we want to thank Twisted Acre. It's going to be a great place. Show up when it's on. We got Kyle from Houston Preeminence, Joe with the great show of All the Smoke, and we had Southside. What is it?
Collection.
Southside Collection. Come on with Carlos coming on. Carlos was great. Garrett did nothing. He just sat in the corner. I'm just messing with you, Garrett. But anyway, Pat, what do you have to finish this evening out?
Thank you for listening to Dynasty Wise Sports. You can check us out on KTXF Monday through Friday. The hours change. It's 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have various shows and multiple rotating talent coming on there. And also Saturday and Sunday morning, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. We'll be doing that. That's the Dynasty Wise Guys Fantasy Football Show. Check us out, and that is KTXF on TuneIn, the app. Thank you, guys.
KTXF.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Is that it? All right. Thank you.